Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Say I break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Reaching new height never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday night, and hope you guys got some rest after that late night OT thriller we had, well, actually this morning. Boss, did you get any sleep after that game last night, aka also known as this morning?
Yes, I did, but I'm also was 2 hours behind, so I had a little bit of an advantage over you guys, So, yeah, got some sleep, woke up, felt proud of the team again, but happy to pull this one out. Like thrilled to pull this one out.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. We see you guys in the chat, man. Positivity, I see it. A lot of great comments. We're gonna get to them, guys. If we miss your comment, y'all know the drill. Repost it, caps lock, super chat, whatever you guys want to do to get our attention. Go ahead and do that, and we will make sure we get to you. So, guys, if you missed tonight's game, the Pistons did bounce back. They beat the Raptors tonight, 127-116. They get back in the win column, and they improved to 55-21 on the regular season, and 6-2 without K since his injury, which is a good sign. And, guys, the Pistons have done something that they have not done in 18 years. It's been 18 years since the Pistons have clinched the Central Division title. It's been 18 years. Last time it happened was in the 2007-2008 season, which was the last time they ironically went to the Eastern Conference Finals. And they don't hang banners anymore for these championships, but they used to back at the Palace. And we put this graphic together, guys, to create a little nostalgia for those who remember that, and to kind of take you down memory lane for a little minute. And boss, a little quick history lesson too, regarding this here for the chat. I know a lot of you guys remember the glory days of the 2000s. That's my favorite period of Pistons basketball that I remember growing up with. And for those of you who do, you might also remember that the Pistons went to 6 straight ECFs, Eastern Conference Finals, from 2003 to 2008, right? But what you might not know is that during that same stretch, the only time they didn't finish with the best record in their division was ironically the year they won the championship.
Wow.
In 2003, 2004. Interesting, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I love those kind of stats. There's a couple teams. I think Denver was a championship team too that was just not good. Like they didn't even finish with their best record ever when they won the championship this past week. So I love stuff like that because it just goes to show to never count some of the sleepers out.
And it shows the importance too of just peaking at the right time.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Once you get to the playoffs, that's the most important thing. So congrats to the Pistons, man, for ending yet another drought. They've been ending a lot of those these last 2 seasons. So they did it in one of their best seasons in the last 20 years, boss. So I wanted to shout them out for that. Guys, before we get to tonight's game, I want to switch gears quickly. Last night, boss and I, we talked about briefly the Jaden Ivey situation, the recent comments he made that have caused kind of a shockwave around the league and also beyond the NBA. And Coach Bickerstaff spoke about that. He talked about it before tonight's game. So stick around for that. We're going to briefly get to that later on in the show. As far as the injury report, boss, let's see. Isaiah Stewart, he's still out with the MCL strain. No surprise there. Cade is also out with his lung issue. No surprise there. He was on the bench tonight, though. It was good to see him with the team on the floor and the sideline, even though he wasn't suited up. Just from a vibe standpoint, it's just always good to have him around. They love having him around, so that was good to see. Jalen Duren, Tobias Harris, and Duncan Robinson all returned from injury last game, and they were all active for tonight's game, which is a good sign. So, guys, the Pistons are only missing Caden Stew. You know, they're slowly but surely getting healthier just in time for the playoffs in just a few weeks. They did, though, have a setback. Late in the fourth quarter, Marcus Sasser, he left the game with a right hip injury again. And he's been dealing with that hip now, that same right hip all year long. So for his sake, I hope it's nothing serious. It seems like he just can't catch a break. Whenever he gets healthy, he gets hurt or something happens. It's been hard for him to get on the court anyway. So now that he's finally getting an opportunity, he can't even play. So it's tough for Sass right now. I really feel for him. I just hope it's nothing serious.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it, especially too, since we don't know when Cade's coming back and we want him to rest as long as possible. And Sass has been really reliable lately coming off the bench for Danis. We also, because Sass and LeVert were both questionable coming into this game and both ended up playing. But Deuce and I kind of talked about it. Then who would be the ball handler for Jenkins, like to rest if both those guys were out? So the way they played tonight, I still trust them both with that. But you don't want to just keep going down in the same position, you know?
Exactly.
So, and also, did the Crews win their first playoff game tonight?
Yes, they did. Shout out to the Crews. They get their first win against Toronto's G League team, which was pretty cool, right?
Yes.
So that's pretty cool to see as well. So 2 for 2 tonight. Great sign. As far as the Raptors side, Emmanuel Quickly was the only rotational guy missing for them tonight. So they were pretty much full strength again for the second time. I think the last time we played them, they were full strength too. You were saying they kind of showed their hand to us. So kind of same thing tonight. So the Pistons, they're getting healthy. That's a great sign for sure. Outside of Sass, so hopefully he's able to get back soon. The Pistons guys. Oh, go ahead. I
was just going to say too, that happened. And then like 2 possessions later, Jenkins got scraped across the face. And I was
I forgot about that.
Here goes all our point guards.
Right. At the same time, dropping like flies. It's crazy. Starters. Pistons win with Danis Jenkins, Duncan Robinson, Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and JD. And guys, the poll is now live for who you guys think should get the belt. So you guys go ahead and have at that. I have my suspicions about who you guys are going to choose. A lot of candidates, but we'll see how that pans out as we move along in the show, boss. So without further ado, boss, I am going to, you know what? Before I do that, I got to get to my customary super chat from our boy Dom, who always shows up and shows out. As soon as the intro starts, he's like, boom, he's right there with it. I got to get this out. What up, Dom? Dom says, bruh, I didn't even know what happened in tonight's game. Setting the alarm 45 minutes before game time to wake up after a quick nap. Just woke up, 36 going on 76. Bro, how old are you, bro? Like, let me know how old you are, because I think we're kind of around the same age range, if I'm not mistaken. But let me know.
I'm guessing 36, but I think it's...
Is he really 36? Okay.
But, Dom, this is so funny. Thank you for the super chat with basically just saying, I don't even know. Like, you just came through with the super chat. So appreciate you so much. So to be fair, this was a good win. I think it was a weird game, but
it was a win.
Felt good most of the way. So I'll take that. Yeah,
we're gonna get to exactly how we felt about this and why. And actually, we can do that right now, boss. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it to you. Initial thoughts. Holla at me. What did you see in this game? What stood out to you?
Well, it was kind of a strange start. Like, no one was making field goals. Duren was the only one. He started 5 for 5 from field goals at like basically all our points. The Raptors didn't score a field goal till like 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in, a long time, just relying on a free throw. So I didn't love the first quarter, just kind of there. Second quarter was just full of turnovers. I mean, the whole first half was. The fact that they got 23 points off of our 13 turnovers was nuts, especially because we had the lead the majority of the time. We were just giving them 23 free points. But the adjustments were made. And there was a beautiful third quarter. Loved it. Good first half to the second or the fourth quarter. And then I think just the back-to-back started to catch up to them a little bit.
Yeah.
The back-to-back, the late night, the getting home at 4:15 in the morning started to catch up to them a little bit. And the Raptors, they are a running team. So they went on their run, and we did slow it down, but it got a little bit more like I had faith in them the whole time. And I was like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Let's give it away. Yeah. But just some thoughts I had really quick is just, like I said, bad turnovers early, but I love the ball movement we had on offense. So many guys had great cuts to the basket. Like I just kept being like, oh, that was a good cut. Oh, that was a good cut. Oh, that was a good cut. Which meant that also so many guys had great feeds to those guys. Again, great halftime adjustments. We started taking care of the ball. I think we just like had better communication on both ends of the floor. Our defense looked even more ramped up, even though that wasn't necessarily an issue in the first half. It just looked more like better. We just flowed. And then, like I said, just back-to-back caught up to them in the fourth, but they finished strong. So it was a fun game. I enjoyed the win at home.
Yep, I agree. Before I go any further, I got to get my dog Tom in here. He said, had to wake up the vocal cords. Detroit basketball. What up, Tom?
Beautiful.
Let us know your thoughts about this game, bro, for sure. Looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks, too, for the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'll keep an eye out for that, for sure. Okay, so for me, boss, my first thought is good bounce back. Good bounce back. Had a back-to-back last night. Had to fly in, late last night to get here this morning. Low on sleep, right? But once again, our big guns didn't play probably last night for that very reason. Yeah. So it was just good to see our guys back, and the guys who didn't play last night, they look fresh. And the last time these two teams played was like 2 weeks ago. The Raptors were more physical. That's what it came down to for me. And one sign of that was the 20 offensive rebounds they had last game. That you can't win that way. Tonight they gave up 14. So it's still not great, but it's better. It's an improvement. But we all know the Pistons, they're at their best when they are imposing their will with their physicality on both sides of the basketball. That includes rebounding. So tonight, I just wanted to see them collectively just finish defensive possessions. That was all I wanted to see. Hold them to one shot. Don't give a ton of second chance. Get out in transition. Run, get out and run and play to your style. And early on, like you mentioned, they did a good job of that. They hit first, right? The Raptors were 0 for 11 from the field to start this game. And the Pistons went up early 13-3, forcing the Raptors to call that first time out, like we always say, and set that tone. But unfortunately, after they built that lead, they got careless. They let the foot off the gas a little bit. They kept giving the ball to the Raptors, and they were able to score in transition off of the Pistons turnovers. And that's honestly what kept them in the game. That's what kept them in it early. It could have been 20-3 had they just had somebody else knock down shots other than JD, and had they not just keep turning the ball over. Because we know the Raptors, like the Pistons, they want to run too. They're one of the best teams in transition too. So they want to take advantage of that. And they did every time the Pistons gave it away. So at the end of the first quarter, I don't know about y'all, but I experienced one of the most frustrating moments of the season. Karras turned it over, and the Pistons allowed Colin Murray Boyles, for whoever knows who that is, on the Raptors. I didn't know who it was till tonight.
He's been injured a lot this season, on and off, but he's a top 10 draft pick for them.
Good for him.
6'7", plays much bigger than he is.
Good for him. But they let him get 5 offensive rebounds on one play, on that ensuing play. When they got the ball up, he got to the rim, he missed a shot, and they were just ball watching. They just kept letting the ball they thought each one was going to go in. They thought that he got the first board, they thought it was going to go in. They thought the second was going to fall. They thought the third was going to fall. And it just never fell, and nobody got in the glass. That drove me nuts because it resulted in the last one being an RJ Barrett 3-ball.
Yeah.
Yes, GVH. Like what are we doing? What are we doing? Just ball watching. Oh, he's gonna make it. Oh, he's gonna make this one. Oh, he's gonna make that one. Bro, just go get the ball. Go get the ball, bro. What are you doing? And it was like 3-4 guys there, 3-4 Pistons there, 3-4 white jerseys there, and one Raptors jersey there. Just Colin by himself. So I'm like, what are we doing? What in the world? That was so frustrating for me. Yeah. Because it was all about effort. That's just an effort thing. Things like that make me kind of get sour on games sometimes, despite what happens. Because it's like, bro, we got to bring that 48. We got to bring that 48, right? So I will say, second half, they did tighten the screws. They locked down defensively. They got in the boards, cleaned it up. got the defensive glass much better, and that was the difference in the game. It was that simple. They led in the second half, third quarter alone, they were up 20, like midway through. So once again, as we've seen them, when they play through their style and they do it well and they execute, they can run away with games like that as long as they turn it on and keep it on. It's happened many times this year. We've seen it's like, oh, it's kind of a tough game. We saw with the Warriors. They hung around first half, second half, blew it open. We just played to our style. So it's happened a lot this year. And it's something I'm still a little bit worried about because you just can't get relaxed in the playoffs, man. Teams, when they come back, they're gonna come all the way back and they're gonna surprise you because they're a good team as well. So I'm a little worried about that. Thankfully, they were able to still get this win. They did manage to come back late again in the fourth quarter, or another run, letting the foot off the gas again, turning the ball over again, just to wash, rinse, and repeat of what happened late in the first quarter. So I'm just paying attention to that. They cleaned it up again. You know, they stopped turning the ball over and they put the game away with their execution. But it's just the lulls is the only thing I'm concerned. I'm not trying to be negative because we got a dub. You got to get it however you can get it. But these are just things that I'm watching for the playoffs that if we want to go to the place we're trying to get to, we can't keep doing these things over and over again. So that's what I have my eye on, boss.
Absolutely. And, you know, positively, and I think those are obviously all valid because you have to point out the good with the bad because there was a lot, like the turnovers, the 23 points off of turnovers, that disgusted me the most. I agree. For me, it's like, and again, they made up for it at halftime. They made the adjustments. For me, it was just a little bit more, you know, there are no back-to-backs in the playoffs. They just got a bunch of guys thrown back into the lineup. It was, I still think that's valid. I'm not trying to make excuses. But that's just kind of also what I was considering with it going on. And again, I always look for guys to step it up in the half. And even though they went on a little run in the fourth, I think that everybody did. And as a team, and that's just something I've been seeing lately is that the Pistons, we obviously want them to get off to a good start. It's something that we expect and we beg for usually, but right now, you know, they're still able to win in moments where they don't get off to a hot start. But we want to see a little bit more balance, but I really just appreciate the halftime adjustments because when they fall off, if they come in and they do the same thing that they did the first half and the second half, then I'm a little bit more concerned. But it's like they need to be like woken up a little bit too. So, but I do agree with you because you can't have that happen. And this is something I said the last time we played the Raptors. They're also a team of runs, and they're a good defensive team. They are. So while it was annoying to give them a bunch of turnovers because a lot of them were unforced, but some of them were forced. They had very good rotations. They got back on transition very quickly. I give props to their defense for sure. And you know, it's why they are, you know, in the middle of the East. They're probably going to avoid the play-in. There's still a few more games, so they might fall. Yeah. But I think they're probably going to avoid, and they're going to give whoever they match up with a tough time. Our defense was able to hold some of their guys. Last time quickly kind of popped out for them, and Ingram still did his thing tonight, but like Scotty Barnes didn't get his first field goal till like 4 minutes into the third. And he went 0 for 6 for a while. Some guys just seemed off. RJ Barrett also popped off. We completely shut down Pirtle compared to his last game against us. And we fixed the board situation again. Like they did finish with one more board than us, but take away, you know, some of the the Colin Murray Boyles follow-ups and the drops it a little bit.
That was killing me, man.
Yeah. Right. But also our offensive boards were going to be a little bit different from theirs too, because we shot 60% tonight and they shot closer to 50. They still had a good shooting game. So boards were a little bit hard to come by, but we definitely improved from our last matchup against them.
100%. It was definitely an improvement from start. That was the most important part for me, was just to start. How are you starting this game? How are you setting the tone? And they responded. To be fair, good teams, they do respond. So we're just going to lie down and give it to us. They're very much in the playoff hunt. So this game probably means more to them than it does to us. So I was kind
of surprised that with like a minute and a half left, I think they were down by 11, which, or maybe it's closer to 2 minutes. And 11 is still a lot, but I was surprised that Darko just kind of brought in his bench, you know, like I was like, your guys are fighting, you know? So they had their finger on the pulse of the game as well and just wanted to end it or something. But I was a little bit surprised by that. I thought they were going to fight, make us work for it. But
yeah. Appreciate you, baby Floor. Heisenberg says several times they were taking the ball out of the basket and they were still beating us down the court for easy. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. They I think they're the number one transition team in the league. I think they're very good. They're one. So it kind of reminds me of the old school Lakers, how they used to demoralize you. And even after scores, they take it right out of the hoop and they push the ball and just get that erase whatever you just did with the bucket on the other side. So you got to be cognizant of them at all times when it comes to pushing the basketball for sure. Go ahead.
They're definitely a team I think can make a jump next year. They got Ingram last year who was injured. Grady Dick kind of fell out of the rotation. They got some young guys like Colin Murray-Boyles. RJ Barrett has been stepping it up for them as well after a slow start to the season, and he was also injured. Like they're a team that I think can, with just some slight adjustments, can definitely improve. They're looking good now, and they're a team like us that, I mean, they've gotten better since last year. Like they're just progressing in the right direction.
Yeah. Quickly, Scooby Snack says, I wonder if having a collapsed lung makes you more susceptible to having it again, even if after fully healed. I don't believe. I talked to a few doctors about this, bro. From what I was told, the likelihood of it happening again goes way down as if you are fully healed. It's very likely though if you're not. It can definitely be an issue for you if you're not fully healed. So that's what I was told by a couple of doctors. Go ahead, boss.
That makes me curious because CJ McCollum had 2 about 3 years apart.
Makes you wonder if he came back too soon.
True.
Just wondering. Just saying. You never know.
Apart too. 3 years. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, low key. Yeah.
So I don't know the answer, but possibly, I guess. I guess it depends. On that. I'm curious. I'd be curious to find that out.
Yeah. I'm gonna trust my source and just hope they're correct. Like these are legit doctors that I talked to. So hopefully, for Kate's sake, it's not something that's lingering and it's gonna be a problem for him going down the road. But the longer that he's able to rest, the better. I think the likelihood that goes for sure. What up, Devin? Says, what up, Doe? From you in Florida, bro? Okay, you moving around out here? Okay,
getting his award for his job.
Right, that's right. That's right. Congrats, bro. Yeah, I forgot that quickly, man. Congrats to you, bro. Appreciate you showing up as always, man. All right, boss. You want to do some box scores?
Let's do it.
Before we do that, let's check the poll real quick.
Oh yeah.
See what you guys thought. So, boss, who do you think everybody thought got the belt or will get the belt tonight or should get the belt tonight?
God, that's really tough because I can't even decide. I feel like they all had such an impact. I think JD had a phenomenal night. He didn't really let off at all. He got into a little bit of foul trouble, but nothing crazy. But especially just with his shooting tonight, and I'm surprised he only ended with 2 assists because I felt like he created more. Duncan, but also Jenkins had big shots. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't pick this one, honestly.
Okay, so 64% goes to JD.
Okay.
And then 22 goes to Dunk.
Okay.
10 goes to Danis and 4 goes to Karis. I'm surprised Karis even got 4%. I'm like, y'all showing Karis a little bit of love in the chat. I ain't mad at it.
Well, that's what Richard said. I voted Karis because why not?
That's probably the 4%, at least part of it right there.
Yeah.
Hilarious. We'll get to him later. Boss, let's start with our point guard, Danis Jenkins in this game. Guys, tonight in this game, Danis Jenkins finished with 21 points on 5 for 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. That's what I'm talking about, Tank. 5 boards, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 block in 36 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. Boy, boss, take off. What'd you see tonight from Tank in this game?
Man, 3 turnovers too. Like these were really spread out then. The 13. We finished with 18 turnovers, guys, and we ended the first half with 13. So definitely took care of the ball better. But proud of him for that. You could tell Coach had some issues with whether the turnovers that he had or what he was doing on the floor. Coach talked to him a few times. He seemed he was still great for us in the first half. He had the and one in the first, and that was finally broke.
That was nice.
He scored a field goal instead of JD.
Right.
JD was on a field goal streak, and Danis was the streak. Yep. In the second, he had that buzzer beater 3 at half, and that's when JD also pulled him over. I'm like, I'm cool with him making that, but it looked like the way that Duncan was calling for it, that the play was ran for Duncan. I think Danis, that's how I feel. But I could be wrong. But he did talk to him because I think the play before was a little bit hectic. And that's the way we closed out the half wasn't the greatest. They went on a little bit of a run.
I agree.
So, and Danis was our, facilitator out there. So, but he made that 3. And like Greg Kelser said, like when you guys still got to talk to your coach about what he didn't like, but it makes it a little bit easier when you hit the buzzer beater 3 to take it, to walk up and listen. So, in the third, he found JD for a wide open dunk. Toronto just got confused on defense, and Danis read it perfectly.
Perfect
He
read.
read it perfectly.
Yep.
He's like, wait, they don't know what they're doing. I don't know if he heard something or he read it, but whatever. He found JD for the wide open dunk.
Yep.
He had great help defense on Ingram in the third as well. That resulted in Ingram having to give up the ball a couple of times. And then his probably most important play of the game was that block on Shed late. It was just an important
100%.
stop to kill their momentum. It got JD a basket on the other end. It just, that's kind of, it just kind of helped seal the game a little bit. And again, that was after his technical as well, which I think all the technicals, even Scotty's, I know Scotty just yelled and he was
kind
very
of strange.
I think all of them, these are classic Tony Brothers technicals. Like all of them should just be kind of taken away because if they're not
petty text, bro. The one on Dennis, he was like, it was took forever to call it. Like, bro, what?
That wasn't
It wasn't yelling at him or anything. Go ahead. It was
and that wasn't even Tony Brothers. But then you saw Coach be like, let me talk. So Danis like walked over and was there when Coach was talking to the ref. And I still appreciate that about JB always having those guys back. But like Asar's was bizarre. Like that's the one I'm just like, are you giving him a tech for twirling his finger in the air? Like Luka, like everyone does. What? Even Asar was giggling. He was laughing. He's like, I don't know what I did. I think that will definitely be rescinded. But anyways, Jenkins had just gotten a tech, which he was frustrated earlier in the game as well. I think Tony Brothers gave him like a stare down, like a dad stare down at one point because he was yelling. He was just like, watch it. And so I think to have the block on Shed late was just, again, regaining that momentum and just kind of showed where his head was at in this game. So yeah, 5 for 9 and 2 for 4 from 3. And like you said, 9 for 9 from free throws. That's huge. You had the most free throws tonight, more than JD, but it's just incredible. I mean, that's more than Cade gets. I don't remember the last time Cade had 9 free throws. So Jenkins really stepped up to the plate there. Just a fantastic game from him.
That tells me too that he's getting more aggressive. He's getting more comfortable.
Yes.
He's getting downhill more. He's tacking more, right? He's not thinking as much. He's just reacting. He's had more reps. He knows he's looking at a lot more once he sees it. So that just tells me he's much more comfortable, which is great to see. Because you're right. Yeah, 9 free throws is a lot for your point guard, right? So that's good to see that for sure. You can tell, once he got that talk, he kind of really just took off after that, bro. 313 Kerr says, didn't Nick Young say Boston would have the 1 seed by April 1st? Early April Fool's joke, huh? Bro, that's a fact. That's a fact. Because here we are, 4.5 games up with the magic number, I think, down to 2. 6-2 without Cade. I'm going to have to do some content on that because that's a great point, bro. We already in April, and look at us.
What's also kind of crazy, and I just saw it right before we went on, but I'll send you the post. I don't know how reliable it is, but they still have Pistons. And who would win the Eastern Conference Finals? They still have Cavs, Knicks, and Boston over the Pistons. And are they right? Maybe, because those are teams with a lot of experience who are very good. And like we just said, sometimes you win when you're not even at the top of your division. But to bet, like to see what we're doing and come to that conclusion is just bizarre to me.
To me, it's just short-sighted because if Cade was available, we'd be in those conversations.
Yeah.
What's the next? It's just the fact that he's gone and there's no it's mystery if he's going to come back or when he's going to come back. If he was available and he was playing these games, there's no way we wouldn't be. We'd probably be at the top. Yeah. So it's just short-sighted. It's just short-sighted based on him not being available. Crazy.
True. That's true.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. It's just that's what it is. That's what it comes down to, bro. That's what it comes down to. We are not casual fans, so we understand our team better than most. So that's why most people don't see it that way. But they will. They will. Right. So we'll leave it there. First Class says Nick Young also said we don't. Yeah, he said we don't win 4 games after Cade goes down, and we've won 6. We've lost 1 by 1 point. Yeah. So what are we talking about?
We
lost was in overtime.
Yeah, to the championship team, like without 5 of our leading scorers. That's I think why that stat coming out again today being updated. It's like, but we just took the champs to overtime without 5 of our 4 of our starters and 5 of our top scorers.
We could easily be 8-0.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about it.
It's always a fluke when it's the Pistons. It's like, well, that's just a fluke.
That's why it's DVE. Y'all know what it is, man. Detroit versus everybody. Y'all know how we end the show every time.
I know.
Boss, for me, this was a great floor game from Tank. Great floor game. He was a floor general in this game. The turnover ratio wasn't great. I still want to see him continue to work on those turnovers, which I think he's going to get better with more time. 5-3 isn't great. It's not terrible, but it's not great, right? It's not even a 2-1. So keep an eye on that, Danis, for sure. But he did a really good job of just mixing it up offensively. Like he was able, like you said, to knock down shots, but also just running the show, setting the table, You mentioned identifying, guys getting caught on switches and breakdowns defensively. He recognized it. He knew what he was looking at. And he did a good job of just getting guys the ball, feeding them the ball. His three ball is slowly starting to return to form.
Yeah.
It's slowly starting to come back to return to form. I think a few games back, he was like 4 for 5. Yeah, 4 for 5, I think, a few games back. And before that, 3 for 5, I think. So it's slowly starting to return. He knocked down 2 in the second quarter. One at the buzzer, like you mentioned. And the other one was a bomb from like 30, 35 feet. I was like, well, okay. All right, bro. Yep. But you're right, though. That one was important to me because the Pistons, that double-digit lead they had, it got cut down to 2 at the end of the half. And his 3 ball at the end of the half put him back up 5. Gave him more breathing room. That was important because we had a double-digit lead. So to have them going into halftime up 5 instead of 2 made a difference. But he's just looking more comfortable. Like he's getting more reps, more time, more consistency. The midi too. The midi game as well is what I've been talking about as well. It's like I want to see him take advantage of that mid-range as well. And he started to show more consistency, knocking that down as well. Had a nice one off the glass. Nice glasser. That was really, really nice. And that's what I'm used to seeing from him. Just getting it done all 3 levels, which he can do. And he, like you mentioned, he put the game on ice with that block. That was to play the game. Nice 4-point swing in about 10 seconds. Yep. Nice block. I think Karras outletted it to JD for a nice layup, and that kind of just sucked the momentum. Put it away. That's when you heard George says, and school is out. That's how you know it's over. Yeah. George says, and school is out, ladies.
Sometimes he's a little early on those. I'm like, George.
I agree.
Are you forgetting the era that we are in?
I've witnessed even in previous eras when he's just gotten a little bit too excited at times. He's like, school is out. Like, we only have 6. It's like 45 seconds to go. George, come on. Yeah. But he was dead on with this one though. So I'm gonna give him credit for that.
He hasn't been wrong.
50 years, he hasn't been wrong too much. So I ain't gonna give him too much there. He's a legend.
Yeah.
That's all I got for Tinko. It's a really good floor game from our point guard, just controlling the game. Especially late too, because they were pressuring a lot. He wasn't turning the ball over. You know what I mean? Like he was taking care of the basketball late in this game when they were trying to pressure. He even got poked in the eye. His eye was all red, looked like he had pink eye. It was crazy. But even with that, he just continued to play. So I'm really happy with what we saw from Danis tonight, man. He looked really good in this game.
Agreed.
Anything else? Okay. Anything in the chat that we see? No, I think we're
good.
Thought,
someone mentioned the block. I love
that block. That was nice.
Yeah, real quick, Heisenberg too, just following up on our quick conversation. He's glad that we're being slept on going into the playoffs. I think we operate better when we have a chip on our shoulder. Exactly. Like we're still going to play our game. It doesn't matter your opinion. We're still going to play our game. So, yeah,
I agree. Good point. Rich says solid, gritty performer. Yeah, he's tough, bro. He's a tough kid, man. He's going to keep playing regardless. He ain't going to get rattled. George is always anxious to get out of there and go to bed. I hope the Pistons get a chip. One more chip for George, bro. Yeah. That would be nice. I don't know how much longer George is going to be in that seat, but I hope he's able to witness. I hope he can really be on the call for one more championship. That would be beautiful. I remember the last one. He said the Pistons have turned out the lights on the Lakers and all that. That was dope. So it'd be nice to see him get one more for him before he hangs it up. But for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, y'all feel me, man. Y'all know what it is. All right, guys. Boss, let's go to Duncan Robinson in this game, guys. Yeah. Duncan Robinson in this game in his return finished with 19 points on 6 for 9, 5 for 8 from 3. I love it. 2 or 3 from the line, 1 board, 2 assists, 1 turnover, and a steal for Dunk in 28 minutes. Boss, take off on Dunk. What you see?
Yeah, he went to the line for those 3 before he even drained a 3. That was early in the game. Again, he other than Duran's field goals, he is who had scored for us. He missed the first, got the next 2. The second, I guess, was his facilitating quarter because he only ended with 2 assists. I swear he had more, but the 1 assist was to a Reed dunk. He bounced it to B-ball Paul. And then he had that one where he dribbled it in and got it and flung it to Tobias for a corner 3. It just looked really good. Nice. He in the third, he lost his defender. He was raining threes in the third. I feel like that's when most of the game. But he lost his defender for a cut and score from Tobias. He lost him, cut, and then Tobias was able to have the outlet to him, got to the rim. And then just 3, 3, 3. And the fourth, just after the Raptors run, got down to 10. He had a big 3 to get it back up to 13.
Yeah.
So just not only 5 of 8 is just beautiful. You can't ask for better. Of course you can have perfect, but I will absolutely take 5 of 8 from Duncan or any of these guys any day. And I just feel like when he was out there, his effort was apparent. He's back in this, his 1 steal a game is pretty much what he's averaging. I love that. Only 2 fouls, 1 turnover, but nothing crazy. 19 points is awesome.
Yeah.
Also recorded a rebound. He's just doing great things, and tonight was the night. Like our 3-point shooting, I think, guys, we finished total with 56%. That's so good for us, and he is obviously a big contributor to that. He just got so hot in this game.
Yeah, he did.
So
yeah, his shot was wet late for sure.
Yeah.
The 5 for 8 is great.
Yes.
That's what I always talk about is the volume as much as anything. You're not always gonna make them, but you got to be a threat out there. Can't take 2 or 3 as our best shooter. Got to get him up and really help us spread the floor and just keep the defense honest. For those of you who have seen the movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy, these last few games when Duncan's been out and Kevin Huerter's been in, it's almost like Kevin Huerter said to Dunk, "You gonna eat your cornbread? You gonna eat your cornbread?" And Duncan Robinson tonight was like, "Hey, he didn't get my cornbread, Claude. Not yet, not so fast. I'm still the starting 2. I am still the starting 2." He said tonight, y'all think twice about that. Think twice about that. And he was on a heater. He was on a heater tonight, man. Boss, it's in the imaginary contract, but we got to call out Duncan's foul on that 3.
I know. I was going to say.
4-point play. Yeah, Chris. You know I was coming.
Before I brought up Chris's comment, I was like, I'm going to wait for him to finish the positives, and then we can shift over. I wouldn't let him forget, but yeah.
Yeah, y'all know, man. I got it in my notes for sure.
It was bad.
It's always worse when it's a 4-point play. Like when they make the 3 and when you don't really approach them with the proper angle, when you just like jumping into them instead of just trying to be disruptive. That wasn't a good one. So I got to call it out. I always call it out. It grinds my gears. Y'all know what it is, man. I hate that. I hate that. Yeah. But, outside of that, that's the only complaint I really have with Duncan Robinson.
Well, that's I think the harder thing is, and like Greg Kelsler said it too, like, I don't want any of them to foul, but if they call it because you're closing out too close and they happen to go up and pull it, it's a little bit better than the lunging. The lunging is just like Kelsler said, like, you're not going to block it, especially Duncan. If you're not going to block it, you might, make it. So you want to get out there on defense, like show that effort, but there's no reason to lunge towards these guys for situations like that, because at least if he made that, it was a 3, you're giving him an extra point and getting yourself into foul trouble, or getting them closer to bonus. Like, so I think obviously I don't want it to happen ever, but it's a little bit different with the lunging, which we've seen a couple times in a row from different guys.
That's true. No, that's fair. That's fair. And he did make up for it. The way he was shooting the basketball, and he made it for a quick 2, guys. He had a 3 ball back down the other way after that. Then he found Paul Reed for that dunk. Then he found Tobias for that 3 ball, like you mentioned, which was cool. So that was nice too, just the playmaking.
Yep.
The playmaking. I love it when he's getting up through a lot of 3s, and I love it when he's also putting the ball on the floor and making plays for others when it's available, and not just being predictable and off. Yeah, you can just tell. Right, he's comfortable. You can see when he's comfortable. So that was nice to see that put on display. It's good to see that from your sniper. Because he's not just a sniper. That's what he primarily does best for this team. But it's off-ball movement, the way he's able to find guys and create a little bit here and there. Just enough to keep the defense honest is all we need from Duncan Robinson. And that's what he did tonight. So I got to give him credit for that.
Agreed.
Yeah. One more thing. Let me see. What did I see here? I wanted to point this out too. Keith Lee Petway says, congratulations to the Central Division champions. Haven't been since 2008. Also haven't won a playoff series since beating the Orlando Magic in 5 in the second round. Exactly, because they beat because they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Celtics, but the last one they won, Keith, was Orlando, with a great name by the way, was the Orlando Magic in 5. Exactly. So yeah, nice little tidbit there, bro, for sure. Shout out to you, man.
I mean, even obviously you want to get bonus, but if we could just continue on that path, kind of emanate that year, that's fun. That's great.
Yeah. Keith also says, imagine if we had Duran, Duncan, Tobias, and Stewart last night. Thunder would have got blew out. Hey man, who knows what we might see, come June. Who knows? That'll be interesting to see. We don't know yet. A long way to go, but nice little thing to think about for, until we get to that point. If we get to that point, for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't disturb this group. You silly, bro. All right, man. Let's keep going, boss. Let's go now to Asar Tasmanian, backbone of the defense, Thompson, in this game, guys. Tonight, Asar finished with only 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting, no threes, 1 or 2 from the line, 7 boards, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, and 2 steals. Only 2 stats, boss. Only 2 stats for Asar tonight in 26 minutes. Take off on Asar. What'd you see?
Only 2 stocks is crazy. I feel like he had a good defensive first half, but he also got into foul trouble early. He had 2 fouls in the first. Right? Or maybe it was, I think it was the first. But so, you know, that kind of limited his minutes. He played the least minutes out of all the starters. But you know, when he's making up for it in other ways, like obviously 2 steals I'll take, and I want a little bit more points of production from him on offense. But he had the second most rebounds behind JD. He had 5 assists. That's tied for
That's good.
3 guys had 5 assists. And Tobias had the most with 6. Like, so he was definitely helping facilitate. He had a big offensive third. Like all of his points were in the third. He had a great drive to the basket to open the scoring the second half. It was just aggressive. They were meeting him at the rim. Nothing was open for him. So they were meeting at the rim. So for him to finish those felt really good. He had a great assist from the top. He brought the ball up and had an assist from the top to Tobias, who was on Shed. He recognized that mismatch, which I appreciate from him because he's not a point guard, but he saw the mismatch on the floor and was able to get the pass exactly where Tobias needed it to get it over and get that basket. Yeah, just huge. And most of his assists came in the third as well. So he just had a really good offensive third, started the second half that way. And he didn't play a lot in the fourth after his technical. I think somebody asked if he was injured, and I hope not, but I just think he just didn't necessarily.
I didn't hear anything about it. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I just think he didn't need to come back in, kind of thing. He did play last night compared to some of the other guys that didn't. So maybe he just wanted to rest him and give him that rest because he did play well. So yeah, I have no complaints really. You know, 3 turnovers is a little rough, but again, it was a very, very turnover heavy game, and but 5-3 is just like Danis's, which is crazy because he's not a point guard.
Right, exactly.
So the boards were big, great presence, just made it difficult on some guys. So I overall liked Desart's game. He's still playing out there with a lot of confidence, confidence.
Definitely playing with confidence.
And I've told you this before. I don't know if this was in relative to what we've done, but I've seen other teams like JJ. Having the JJ Redick is the example I think of, but JJ got the tech. But if Asar shouldn't have a tech if he's right about the call, because they challenged that and they were correct. Yeah. So it's like take away the aftermath too. Take away everything.
Reaction.
Because I think Ingram shot the tech and then we got the ball, which is fine. At least they were successful there, which they obviously should have been. It was a good win. But that was just bizarre to me. I just it grinds my gears when I just don't think coaches or players, especially if it ends up being the ref was wrong.
Yeah.
That's so that's also why I think it's going to be taken away. And again, like it doesn't matter in hindsight, but for teams in games that it matters where it's close, and these guys got a free shot, then there's nothing you can do about it. Like, okay, tech rescinded, but we lost by a point. Thanks so much, sort of thing. So, but I do want to say he's pretty spot on with his defense, and he made it very difficult. He had like a passing lane steal as well. He did great. He had a good game against a tough team.
Right. Yeah. For me, like the 5-to-3 ratio as far as assist turnover, for me, then the numbers aren't always counted equally because he's not a point guard.
Right.
Like, I expect better from Danis because he's a point guard. He's supposed to protect the basketball and have that good ratio that you want to see. Asar, not so much. He has to do it more because they all have to do it more collectively. That's why you see assists, 3-4, 3-3-3-4 across the board, 5-5 across the board because they're all doing it by committee. So he's just trying to pick up the slack. So I don't really get on him too much about 5-3. Of course, you want to see it better, but I'm not gonna harp on it because he's not a point guard. He's just trying to fill in and make plays for this team like everybody else is. So it's gonna happen sometimes.
Chris got some complaints, he says.
Okay. He got to start shooting some of the wide open threes and long jumpers that they're giving him. If he's taking 1 or 2 a game, I'm not mad. Kind of like with Ron. Just to, keep the defense honest. Okay.
Just take it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that, bro. Like, I want him to work his way out from the mid-range because it seems like he's starting to get somewhat comfortable, at the top, at the free throw line area where he's just pulling. Before it was like he would take it when he had to. Now he's driving to try to get to that spot, which is I think is good to see, right? He's not always going in, but he's more confident now. He
has made 2 half-court heaves this year.
That's wild.
Which is nuts to think about. That's why his percentage is a little high because he doesn't take a lot of threes, but he's made some. He's made some heaves. He had that one. The one I truly remember is the one that was like got banked in. I think at halftime. But there was another one too that I saw recently. I was like, how are you making these ones?
Yeah. Just pretend each one is a half court shot, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you gotta do. But yeah, Chris, I ain't mad at you, bro. Offensively, but I felt like it was a struggle. I'll start the offense. It was a struggle offensively. He smoked a lot of pass from Danis. He put it right on the money.
Oh yeah.
And he just bobbled it. It was right there for him. It was gift wrap for him. He just wasn't able to put it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on another possession, I saw him dribbling the traffic in the half court, and it's like he didn't know what to do with the ball. He just kind of lost it. He tried to spin, and he lost the ball.
Yeah.
That's not really what I want to see. I want to see him be decisive. Get to your spot and rise, or get to your spot and take off and try to get to the hoop. But sometimes the over dribbling at times is still something I'm paying attention to. He didn't score till second half.
Yep,
he was kind of quiet in the first half with his scoring, but you could see, like you mentioned, boss, how he kind of got hot a little bit. Not hot, but he kind of got on the board in the second half on a few possessions. You saw the Pistons going to him.
Yes,
they ran a couple of plays for him just to try to get him involved in the second half. They went to him on back-to-back possessions to try to get him going. I thought that was nice to see. But outside of that, he was kind of quiet offensively. But once again, like we always say, the defense carried the day for Ausar Thompson, as it always does. And but as good as his defense has been, I do want to see more than 5 points. I got to see more than 5 points from Ausar. The reason I'm not really harping on it right now, boss, is because what we always say, if you only got 5 points or less than double-digit points, what else are you doing on the court if you're playing a lot of minutes? And so it just brings me to this. Yeah. This is what he does. Ausar is currently third in the league in stocks per game. And he's been a defensive menace all year. Tonight he got another. They didn't have it listed, but I thought he had a block on Scotty Barnes on the first play of the game.
Right? And I just compared real quick, and Scotty did have 5 stocks total tonight.
Okay.
He had 3 steals, 2 blocks.
Okay. He's a good defender too. Good player.
Yeah. But I thought he had a block as well. It's closer to 2 to 1. So again, but Scotty also, he had a worse offensive performance than Ausar did. So actually that's a lie. He took way more shots, didn't he? It's a lie. Yeah, he did. He was 2 of 8, but he had 12 assists.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes up for it. I'm mad at that.
Absolutely. But I completely agree with you, because we've seen Ausar have now, he had an 18-point game, then an 11-point game. Like I've said it last show, like I think he had an 8-point game last time. I was like, I just want to see you at 10 and 11, 10 to 12. Like 12 would be ideal. Anything more than that is bonus. But if you can double your offensive production out there, it's huge. The last game he was getting to the free throw line more as well, trying to get to the basket. But there are still a couple of drives where he has that nice soft touch, and it did work for him a couple of times. But it's also like, you can throw it down.
Right.
You're jumping over these guys.
Yep.
Because it's also just like it might create more contact that gets you an and one, and also it's momentum. The people want to see the dunks. So yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I just want to see him try to go over top or go through instead of trying to go around and finesse. Just go a little bit stronger. So that's my only gripe with him with that. But yeah, that's why I don't really harp on him too much offensively right now. Like the defensive impact, y'all know how I am with defense. Y'all know how I feel about defense. It's always defense for me first, and he embodies that. So I will much rather have a guy who is elite defensively and a work in progress offensively than the other way around. A great offensive player who don't play a lick of defense. You got to go. I don't want that on my team at all.
Agreed.
And none of these guys are built like that, which is why I like all these guys. They all play defense. They all bring the effort defensively. Not one player on this team do you have to say consistently, bro, you are you're really hurting us defensively. What's going on? That doesn't happen with this team. So that's why when it comes to Ausar, I don't really complain much about the offense because he controls the controllables for right now.
Yeah, and the defense has been consistent throughout, and it's just continued to pick up. But I feel like his offense, he's been more aggressive offensively when it's counted the most. He's been more aggressive this second half of the season. So he's at least trying, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But that just comes with learning. But I just like to see that effort at least. It's not just, you mentioned a couple indecisiveness tonight, but you haven't seen that from him. Like that was what it was the first half of the season, just indecisive mental game. He just feels, I think, just a lot more comfortable, and he's just I think tonight he was not feeling it mentally in terms of his shot, and that's why he had those indecisiveness. But then when he is feeling it, you can just really just see him totally confident out there.
For sure. No, that's a great point. Yeah, like it kind of just for me just goes back to the comfortability and what JB always said when he first got here. He said month over month, week over week, you're going to see this team get better and better and better and better and better. And that's just what happens with time. He's a good coach, just instilling his schemes, his principles. I don't think this team I don't know if this team at the beginning of the year, the start of the year, would have been able to go 6-2 without Cade. And I think they can now because they've gotten better throughout the year just with time and playing together and just learning from coach. So that's why it's just the slow incremental growth we always talk about that they continue to show even without Cade now. So that's a great sign. So that's all I got on the start, guys. Anything else on that, boss?
That's all for me.
All right, bet. Let's get it. Let's go to Tobias Harris, guys, in this game. Uncle T finished with 12 points on 4 for 9 shooting overall, 1 of 3 from 3, 3-4 from the line, 5 boards and 6 assists to 1 turnover. That's what I'm talking. That's the best ratio for the team this game. In 32 minutes, boss. What did you see from Tobias Harris in his return?
Very steady game in a game that I felt like we were getting back to our transition offense a little bit, and transition defense. He 12 points, of course, 4 of 9, 44%. You're never gonna complain about. But he has been like his percentage has been a little bit higher lately. But 6 assists, stepping up again. We talked about it, stepping up for things when needed. And yes, Danis is our backup point guard, but Cade is out, and Tobias is aware of that. Also getting 5 boards, tied for 3rd most with Danis Jenkins. It's just being that presence when we're down. Guys like Stu, just trying to help out on those areas. Only 1 foul is huge, and he got that early. It was when Asar didn't have a foul yet. It was like really early in the game because Kelser was talking about it. He's like, you'd rather have that on. I'm glad that Asar was right there. He's like, I'm glad that's on Tobias because he knows how to avoid foul trouble better than Asar does. And obviously you saw that. He got like a foul in the first 5 minutes and then never fouled again. 1 turnover, not mad at. All of his rebounds were defensive as well. So just really crashing those boards out there when they have big guys, just really helping in that sense. So I'm actually kind of surprised. I think he just played good defense. You saw him backing down on guys. And his assists also were because he would get into his shooting form. He would do his, try to do his backup turnaround. He get doubled. And he found the guys. He did a very good job of finding the guys when he got doubled. He kept calm. It's something that, people have felt the need, teams have felt the need to double Tobias Harris lately, but he's effectively getting rid of the ball when that happens to the right person. He's not panicking. He's not traveling. He's not just heaving it up where anyone can go get it. He's finding, the right person. So I have to give him credit for that too, because if his shot's not going in or if he's being doubled by these teams, then he knows how to at least help still create on the offensive end. So a pretty typical Tobias night, but the assists really stick out to me. And I think he just did a great job again of just helping lead this team to the victory.
He looked like a vet tonight.
Yes, exactly.
You mentioned the doubles. Who knows how many doubles he has seen in his career? Like he's seen it all. He's seen it all. He's seen it all. So that's why he's able to be poised when it happens. Yep. I think the one that stood out for me was when JD got behind Pirtle, sprinting to the rim, and the double came, and he quickly found him for that dunk, right? Yeah. But once again, it's just steady, like you said. He's been here before. He's played. He's seen everything. Yeah. He may not be the same player he once was in his prime, but mentally upstairs, he still got it. He still knows what he's looking at. He's seen it. He can help these guys kind of get in position and kind of know what to look for, help them know what to look for as well. He also didn't score in the second quarter. But once again, the playmaking, it didn't even matter because he found other ways to be across the board, just really be helping. He shot a good percentage. He shot about 45% from the field. The 6 to 1 is crazy for your power forward. Yeah. 6 to 1 ratio, turnover, assist turnover. That's crazy.
And like
our two best ratios, boss, real quick, came from both of our power forwards.
That's crazy.
Paul Reed and Tobias Harris. Paul Reed 5 to 1, Tobias 6 to 1. That's wild. But just for me, it's just Swiss Army knife stuff for Tobias.
And again, like he played 33 minutes. He was out there against a team that can produce on offense, which tells me that he was playing good defense. But on paper, because we've talked about it, I've said he kind of struggles against young teams that get out in transition because he can't move as fast, and you can't fault him. It's just age. It's just age.
All the time.
But what he did tonight, you would think that Toronto doesn't have, a vet his age. Like Ingram and Pirtle are older, but but not Tobias old and not in that position. They're just completely different players. So
that's true.
You would, on paper, based on what we've seen from him, based on what we've seen him struggle with and what we see him exceed with, the matchup, you would expect him to struggle more, and he absolutely did not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point about the experience because they don't really have a vet Latin team or anything like that. They don't have a lot of vets over there. They got guys that have been around for a while. I mean, it seemed like the term vet is like the number of years kind of get cut down more and more
Well,
and
that's
more.
like,
Vets are like 4-year players or 5-year players. It seems like now these days.
Did Ingram win with the Lakers in 2020?
No.
So
I think he went to New Orleans.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So has Pirtle? I don't know if they have playoff experience on their team.
I don't think Pirtle's really been in the playoffs. I don't remember. I don't know much about Pirtle, but that they don't have. Yeah, Ingram wasn't there for sure. He wasn't there for sure. He was actually kind of salty about that trade when he got sent out with Lonzo and all those. Yeah, he didn't like that too much for AD. I think it was. But yeah, they don't have a lot of veteran experience, and I think that could be something that hurts them in the playoffs.
Right,
a lot of guys who haven't really been there.
I think they're a year removed from their best year yet in this kind of run since since the Raptors 2019 is an entirely new Raptors team. So, but like you don't, when you look at us, Tobias has experience, Duncan has experience, LeVert has experience.
Yeah,
Javonte Green at least has experience on multiple teams being their leader. So I can't.
Even Herder got a little experience in the playoffs.
The Kings, yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, so it's just good to have guys who've been there before for sure to help our young core. So yeah, good point, boss. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Let's go to anything else in Tobias?
I just like this comment from Chris real quick. I know Cade is the man and the leader, but Unk is the unsung leader, the unsung hero for us. Absolutely. It's like Cade is kind of our captain, but Tobias has just really held it down for these young guys. Like you just see it in his locker room presence, the way he gets the belt, he gives the belt, how his experience on the floor, like he just really helps keep these guys just level-headed and steady, as JB has used that word to describe him. So I do agree. It's kind of like, Cade's our captain, but like Tobias is our leader, or vice versa. It's like they're in a
captain. One's a captain, one's a general, like whatever you want to call it. Like so kind of a two-headed monster as far as leadership. I think Cade's the best player, but you can't really save for experience. You can't really save for experience, and that's exactly what he brings. One thing about him that I love really quickly is just his professionalism. Like he's known around the league being the consummate pro. Even back in 2016 when he first came here, he was kind of wise beyond his years as far as just how professional he was and how grounded he was. And that's something that's going to be very important. Like the fact that he's rubbing off on these young stars in that way, just teaching them how to be professional, teach them how to get the most out of their ability and to take it seriously is invaluable. And that's the off-court stuff that I talk about when it comes to Tobias Harris.
Absolutely. And just to add to that quickly, we give Cade props for his maturity and how awesome it is that he has a vet who is also coming to the league with that kind of mindset. And I think he did an interview recently where he said that when he retires, his dream job is to be a principal of a middle school.
That sounds like Tobias.
And I was like, so that fits. He holds guys accountable. He's not, he's a leader. He's a team guy, family. It fits. I can't describe it, but I was like, yeah, I could see that, Tobias. I could see
like that uncle that if your parents, or he's like that adult where it's like if your parents ain't around and you doing something shitty, hey, stop doing that. Yeah. I was like, not your father, not your uncle, not a relative, but still going to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing.
He's going to have kids come to the principal's office and they're not going to be scared. He's just going to tell them like, look, this is like your last chance or else then I have to drop the hammer.
Principal is crazy work though. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. Principal Harris, that'd be so nuts. But I could see
Principal Harris.
Yeah.
I'm screaming. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Boss, let's go to JD in this game. Jalen Duren returned in great fashion, guys. 31 points, another 30 ball for JD. 12 for 13 from the field, man.
Yeah.
7 for 7 from the line. 9 boards, almost another 30-10 game. 3 assists, 3 turnovers. I'm okay with that. 2 blocks. 31 minutes or 34 minutes. Boss, take off, man. Take off on JD.
I mean,
this is getting crazy.
Again, so the stats alone, the 12 of 13, back to 92% and 7 of 7 from the free throw. That is nuts. I think they said the last guy to average his free throw numbers was Lanier in 77 as a center. The last Pistons center to average those numbers. Those free throw.
Good company.
We were
No
praising
worries,
him
right?
on his free throws in the beginning of the year. And then in the middle, it was kind of going back to 50, 60%.
Yep.
We're like, JD, you're doing so good. And now no complaints. Again, kind of peaking at the same time. He's feeling confident. And you can see it because they ran their offense through him a lot. They obviously did it early. The Raptors called their first time out with only JD scoring for any team a field goal. He was the only one on the floor with field goals, and he was 4 for 4. Then they came out of the timeout, and he went 5 for 5. It's just incredible. He also had the first 3 possessions for him was he had a deflection on Pirtle. It went out of bounds in the first one. It went out of bounds, but immediately brought the defensive momentum, especially against a guy like Pirtle who kind of ran over him and Reed in the last game. Then he had a basket on the other end. Then he had a defensive rebound on the other end, and that was the first 3 possessions. He touched the ball in the first 3 possessions. 2 defensive, 1 offensive.
Made his presence felt. Yes, go ahead.
Exactly. In the fourth, he deflected he had that really nice. It was Jokic-esque that he knew he couldn't catch the pass and bring it down, so he just said boop. Let me pass it over to Sass, and Sass sunk the 3. It was beautiful, awesome. It was just very and that was just again understanding his surroundings, not because it was in a time where we were going on a run at that point. I don't think that they had gone on a run yet, but we were just trying to put the game away, and he wasn't just he felt that if he pulled it down, he either wouldn't get the basket or maybe he wouldn't get the foul call. Like he just made the right decision. He read the floor super well. He had another play where he brought the ball up the floor and just went straight to the basket. I love when he does that. My favorite play from him though was there was in the third, he had a screen in the backcourt and the screen was there. It was legal. And Shed just flew into him and just bounced off him. Like JD did not even flinch.
Exactly. He's tank, man.
But it was just crazy to see. I mean, Shed he flew.
Out the
like
frame.
we've seen Ron fly. I was like, that wasn't a flop. Like he just felt the full press, and JD did not even flinch. It was pretty funny. It made me laugh a little bit because it wasn't even like a little step. Nope, just solid. But incredibly efficient game. We definitely could have won without him. I mean, another double-double would have been great, but 31 and 9, I'm not complaining about at all. He had a block, 3 assists again. That's awesome. Fourth most, tied with fourth most with Kevin Huerter. And you just love to see how he's just getting, involved more. When he got early in the game, he looked like he was hobbling, and we know that he was out with an injury, and he's been kind of questionable with some injuries too, questionable for lineups and stuff. So I hope he's feeling 100% himself, because obviously we want him healthy going in. He looked like a little bit, he was wincing a bit early, but obviously got through the game just fine. But I mean, outscored everybody, out rebounded everybody. Oh, except Murray Boyle's got 10 rebounds. But other than that, that's because of his 4 in a row. But he did just phenomenal. Like I know that there's actually a good amount of good candidates for most improved, and they all have good reasons. But
for me, it's him and Jalen Johnson.
For me, it's him and Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Okay.
But Jalen Johnson is good as well, but he was also in the running last year. So I feel like, there's two, what he's been doing just efficiency-wise, defensive-wise, offensive-wise, they're able to run plays through him because he's either going to get the basket, draw the foul, get the offensive board, or get it back out to someone.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
So
dominance, man.
He's 22.
Dominance.
It's nuts.
And he's 20. We finish every evaluation with saying, "Oh yeah, he's 22 years old." Yeah. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Some quick comments. Heisenberg says Zeus is becoming Mr. Efficient. That was a beautiful wrap around pass. He had the carries when that was beautiful, bro. That was beautiful. His recognition and his reads when those doubles come at 22. We talked about Tobias being a vet and seeing it. For him to be this young and be making these reads already, it shows his vision naturally that he already has. As far as the Bob Lanier comment, Fat Kisman said that was the year I was born. So what? 73 was the year you were born? So
77. It was 77.
So you're 49. 49 pop or 49 grandpa. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So for me, JD picked up right where he left off, boss. He missed last game, and you could tell he was fresh for this game. In the words of MJ, it seemed like he took that Pirtle matchup personally from the way he was playing. It was almost like he heard a little bit of noise about Pirtle, and he went to shut that noise down, and he did tonight. He just looked fresh, had an extra little pep to his step. You mentioned he started off 5 for 5, 13 points, for the Pistons before the Raptors hit a shot. 13 points on his own before the Raptors hit a shot. That's how you establish your dominance and you impose your will for sure. Yeah. And had someone other than JD, like I said, had someone other than JD scored early, they would have been up double digits. They could have tried to put the game away early had they just knocked down shots of somebody other than JD. But he said, "Hey, backpack, I'm carrying y'all early," and he did that. 11 points and 3 boards in the first quarter by itself. 11 and 3 in the first quarter is crazy. That's crazy. In the second half, he continued it, man, just imposing his will. And you guys, we talked about it already, but the free throws for me are so crucial. I saw Heisenberg's comment. I agree, bro. The free throws for me is so crucial. So crucial, guys. I said beginning of the year, and we've been tracking it. I've been said at the beginning of the year that I want to see him shoot 80% from the line by the end of the season. That was my number, and I was holding to it. A lot of you guys are like, 80% for a big? I'm like, yes, yes, it is high. I have extremely high standards for Jalen Durham. That's why I'm so hard on him when we talk about him, because I see what he can be, man.
I'm hard on his defense. You're hard on his offense.
And I'm hard on his I'm hard on both, but that's what you always focus on, the defense for sure when it comes to him. So I'll give you credit for that. You're right. No, you're right for sure. But lately, guys, this dude he's automatic now. He is automatic. They had a stat. I don't know how many games they had on the stat, but I've been tracking him for the last 5 games. He's shooting 37 for 40 from the line in the past 5 games. Jalen Durham, guys, it's like before I was saying, well, he's 10 for 10. Oh, now he's 18 for 20. Now he's 22 for 25. Like, he is not missing free throws. That's why he's able to get 30 points.
That's 93%
efficient shooting. That's 93. I was just about to say, 93% over his last 5 games. And it's not like he's shooting 10 free throws over his last 5 games. This is 40 free throws. That's the big sample size. That's why I said JD needs to be at 80% when he was shooting 60. Because I saw him last year do this in stretches where he'd go from 58% for the first month and then 85% the next 2 months. I'm like, okay, he can do it. He can do it. It's a matter of, is he going to lock in and actually commit to it? Yeah. And now we see him committing to it. And now we see that hard work he put in at the line before games, warm-ups and practice and working with Coach Patop and Co. and all those guys. It's paying off now. It's paying off now. If you can rely on that from Jalen Durham, it's trouble for whoever you play.
Yeah. And Kelser said that too. Like, making your free throws, averaging, 5 free throws a game and making them, that's an extra 5 points. That takes an 18-point-a-game player to a 23-point-a-game player. It took a guy tonight from 24 points a game to 31 points a game, 24 to 31. Yeah. And it's just, it just makes it, like, people have been saying that Cade needs help. And I still agree, but without Cade, guys, and I'm not saying this is Cade related. I'm just saying in the last 5 games, we've been shooting over 50%. Tonight we shot over 60%. And I'm not saying it's Cade related. I'm just saying our offense is getting better at the right time. But JD just being helpful as a guy who could take the load off of Cade, both in terms of driving to the basket and also getting the fouls and getting the free throws up, is huge, because you can get the free throws. And like I said, you just got to make them. We talked about, like, JD, you can't complain about calls and then not make your free throws. And so now I'm like, if he wants to complain about a call, which also we didn't see tonight, I didn't see him throw his hands up once. I think he's becoming more confident in that, and just realizing, like, I'll get there when I get there. I'm going to earn it. I'm going to go get it. And he is still a big, like, there's a couple bigs in this league. Cat and Embiid come to mind first for me. There's probably others. But there's a couple of bigs in this league that drive with the intent of getting fouled, and JD drives with the intent of scoring. So yeah, that's interesting. Man. Yeah, I don't know, man. For me, that's just the biggest thing is the free throw. Like I was saying before, how he reminds me, I see similarities. I call him the modern day Shaq with finesse. It's not a perfect comparison, but as far as the dominance, and then the finesse to go with it. But the free throw, like, he punishes guys in the paint. You got to foul him to stop him. And that's what happened with Shaq before. But the difference, guys, these are rough numbers. Off top, I don't know these numbers, but I think about a guy like Shaq who scored, I think he scored like 28,000 points in his career. He took 11-something thousand free throws in his career. Yeah. And he only made like close to 6,000. Bad. Basically like 5 for 11 per game on a per game basis for him. That's like less than 50%, right? That's 6,000 points left on the board. Imagine how many points Shaq could have per game, per season for his career if he shot 75%. That's 30,000 easy. So, like,
as good as Shaq was, and I'm not comparing him to JD. I'm just saying
No.
JD has a chance to be extremely efficient and to put up so many and to score so many points if he continues to knock down his free throws the way a guy like Shaq just couldn't consistently do. That's such a huge advantage to be that big and strong and dominant and then be able to pay it off at the free throw line. That's so important. That's so important.
You can talk about multiple centers that you want on the floor for defense and offense in other ways. Like Shaq was mostly on the floor for his offense production at the rim, and then the fouls were off. JD, I would say, is on the floor for offense over defense compared to like guys like Stu. Like Ben Wallace couldn't shoot a free throw. Rudy Gobert in today's he can't make free throws. But like it's beneficial when you are able those guys because then I think it just encouraged them to be more aggressive. We talked about this with Asar too. Like it encouraged some guys to be more aggressive so that they can get to the line and they can, take advantage of it. There are bigs, obviously there are bigs in the league that can make their free throws as well, but it's pretty like, I remember them a few years ago saying that there's no place in the league for a big like Zach Edey, but this is exactly.
Oh man, what?
Right? They thought that he wouldn't go high because they're like, that's not the kind of culture, like the big culture isn't there. It's all about, the 3-point shooting, which, but you got guys like, Jokic who can do both. Embiid can do both. Cat can do both. And then Zeki, like it's shifting back into that. Like we need a center out there that can do it both. Like they can make the shots and pay it off in the free throws, because if you're going to be who we run our offense through, you need to be able to make your free throws.
Yeah. And just being able to stay in the court.
Yes,
you think about a guy like Mitchell Robinson.
Yep.
Who's a great defensive center. Right? They couldn't play him at times. Because they just went to the hack and Mitch. With JD, you can't do that.
No.
So there is no liability there as far as we can just stop him by fouling them and just we got enough big guys, we got enough fouls, we got 18 fouls, 24 fouls. We 3, 4, 5 guys foul out, we're good. He can't shoot free. Nope, you can't do that.
You can't do that with any of our bigs, honestly.
Yeah, you're right.
They can all pay it off at the line.
That's a great point. Yeah,
but
that's scary hours.
JD was probably the one who was most behind
coming into the season. I would agree. Yeah. Yes, inconsistent.
Yes,
not saying he was the least able or at least talented at doing it, but the least consistent. I 100% agree with that for sure. 100%. Some quick comments. Boss Heisenberg says he can make a living at the line like Shea, except he'd come by it. Right. He won't be fishing for it.
No pushing
off. It will just no pushing off. It will just happen because they can't stop him in that painted area. They're literally trying to foul him. Right. So yeah, big difference, Heisenberg, for sure. Indie sports fan. What up, though, bro? Says popping in here for the second night in a row. My guy. Duran is amazing. And just these 2 videos I popped in on y'all. Y'all are quickly becoming one of my favorite basketball channels. Y'all know your ball. Appreciate that, Indy. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, man.
As Indy, are you Indiana? Like, are you a college fan? Are you an all fan? Are you a Pacers? I'm curious. Just let me know what sports in Indiana you like.
Let us know, man.
We've had our fair share of rivalries with different teams and throughout too. So I'm just curious. Yeah. Colts, Fever, Pacers, Hoosiers. Let us know. Let us know for sure. I'm an Indiana Hoosiers fan just because of Isaiah Thomas. Taking it back a little bit. You know what I mean? So got to give him love for sure. All right, boss. That's all I got for JD, man. Amazing, incredible game again. He's getting better and better by the day, it seems like. He's absolutely his ceiling is crazy. Can't even see it if you look straight up from the ground. Insane stuff, man. Absolutely. Chris says he's a mesh between Tim Duncan and Shaq. I like that. He's a better free throw shooter than both of those guys. That's what's crazy about it. Ain't that, Chris? Right. That's crazy because Tim Duncan, he would sit there. Yeah. That crazy free. And Shaq would be like, like can't even hold on to the ball. That's funny. Yeah, he's better than both of those guys. Go ahead, Bo. You said what now? Yeah. I'm just gonna take my hour break real quick. Be right back if you want to check the poll because I'm curious to see. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Let's check some polls. Let's check some comments. See what it's looking like. 313 says when the game was on the line in the playoffs, Shaq didn't miss. No. That's very true. 313. I'm talking about over a career. I'm talking about a career because Shaq more times than not. He wasn't great. He wasn't 80% in clutch time. He was more so 65, 70 in clutch time. I'm talking about prime Shaq, like 2000 through 2002 when he was winning back-to-back Finals MVPs when Kobe was his Robin at the time. In those games when he would play against the Pacers in the finals or the Sixers in the finals or the Nets in the finals, when they beat the Pacers in 6, beat the Sixers in 5, beat the Nets in 4. Those years, he was shooting like 70% in clutch moments, right? It wasn't like it was 80%. It wasn't close to what JD's doing right now. Don't get that twisted.
Trust me, I know my history on the Lakers. That was my favorite team before LeBron became NBA player, so I know. But the reason I'm saying that is because he's just knocking them down. He's knocking them down, and you can say that, but how good were those guys at 22 years old? So you can try to play it that way if you want, but I know my stuff too, bro. So you say what you want, but it's all good because we'll see. Time will tell. Time has to catch up. It's all good. You feel the way you do, I feel the way I do, but I know my history, bro. Don't get that twisted. So guys, we can keep it pushing. Let's see. Chris said I got JD for the belt. Let's check the poll real quick. See what we got. Okay, so JD actually now is at 67%, boss. Dunk is at 20, Danis is at 9, and Karis LeVert is at 4. So it looks like it's pretty much holding steady for sure. Okay, my bad, bro. I wasn't sure you was talking about. I got you.
Well,
all right,
but then he comes back and doubles down, which okay.
It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good. Don't worry, we gonna keep pimping, man. I just want y'all to know that I never say anything on here just to say it. Like y'all know, I do my research and I do my homework, and I lived a lot of this stuff too with these guys. So
and you admit when you're wrong. Like I still think about how I said that Rajon Rondo was a good 3-point shooter.
We all have those moments though. Like nobody knows everything. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, Indie sports fan saying I'm a fan of Pacers, Colts, Fever, Indy Ignite. Oh, okay. Nice. Pro women's volleyball. That's what's up. I gotta get plugged in. Fisher's Freight, indoor. Oh, he's serious about his Indiana sports. Indoor football league, Hoosiers.
Let's go.
All Indiana for the sports. We have NHL. What? Red Wings. Okay. MLB. I'm a Braves fan too. I'm when the Braves beat the Indians in the World Series back when Chipper was there on the squad. Chipper Jones and all those guys. So yeah, good stuff, Indie sports fan. Appreciate you as always, man. Coming back and showing some love, man, for sure.
Yeah, I love
tough crowd. They're tough.
Yeah, the Colts they're getting better. I used to babysit the wide receiver that they drafted this year.
Wait, what?
I can't remember his name. I can't remember.
Babysat the Colts wide receiver?
Well, I didn't babysit him. He was friends with a kid that I used to babysit, and he would be at the and stuff. I can't remember his name.
I was gonna say, what's his name? Yeah, I
just re-signed him.
Okay.
But the Pacers, man, they obviously Pistons Beverly is alive and well, but the Tyrese Halliburton injury is awful, but I cannot wait to see what they do when he's back because there's so many guys on that team that I just love so much. Yeah. I mean, T.J. McConnell is probably my favorite player in the league. So I'm
curious to see how they look without Miles, because I know they got some bigs now, but I just want to see how it looks without Miles.
I think Jay Huff agreed. I think Jay Huff has done better than for the Pacers than Miles has done for the Bucks in relative.
Agreed. Yeah, the fit. Yeah,
they still might make another move for a big guy without like help. Yeah, Alec Pierce. That's who it was.
Oh, okay.
From my hometown.
Okay. You got some Colts fan in the building. Yeah. That's what's up.
Don't quote me. I mean, like, don't be like, I know who your babysitter is because he won't know who I am. But I just remember him from the little kids I babysat, like birthday parties and stuff.
That's hilarious, bro. Indy, the last one. Indy says, I became a Red Wings fan as a kid because I liked the logo. Yes, sir. Braves because of Chipper. Yeah, that was my guy, bro. That was my guy. Andrew Jones, too. They had 2 Jones over there. Andrew Jones was nice, too. Yeah, they had a nice squad. All right, guys. Let's get back. Y'all know I can get off topic, man. I love my sports. Y'all love y'all sports. Yeah. We're going to try to lock back in real quick, but I appreciate you, Indie Sports, man, for sure, for showing up, man. Boss, let's go to some reserves, man, before it gets too late here. Let's start with Sass. Let's go to Sass. Guys, tonight, Marcus Sasser in his game finished with 8 points on 3-4 shooting, 2-2 from 3. His jumper was a little wet tonight. 1 assist, 1 turnover, and only 8 minutes, boss, because of the injury he left with. So, in the limited minutes you saw from Sass, what'd you see?
Yeah, limited minutes, beautiful game. In 8 minutes, 3 of 4 and 2 of 2 from 3, and you registered an assist as a playmaker out there. That's awesome. He made his first 3, and then his second basket was LeVert was kind of getting a little bit stuck. He dribbled too much, and Sass came from the other side of the court at the top for a great cut.
Yep.
And just LeVert was able to, so he read that super well. And then the fourth, he started off the fourth scoring with a 3. That was the one that Duran just tapped over to him.
Yep.
So like you said, it was super good tonight. I think he got a little bit ran over on defense, nothing crazy. Just like we did with Shed. Just like we did with Shed.
Yeah.
He was shot over a couple times, but still on his ground in 8 minutes. I mean, 8 points in basically less than 8 minutes. And we talk about guys like B-Ball Paul being a point a minute guy. So you have to get at the Sass too. Yeah. He definitely found it. Kind of a bummer that, even before the injury to only play 8 minutes just kind of showed, where he was coming in for Jenkins. It was like Herter and LeVert came in as the first substitutions for shooting guards. Jenkins stayed out. And then Marcus came in at the end of the first for Jenkins, started the second for Jenkins, and then came in. JB kept the starters in for a while in the third, even though we were up by like 18 to 20 during that span. I think it was because he was like, let's just close this out and get some other guys in. And unfortunately, we couldn't do that, which is fine. It didn't play that way, but I think that's why he left them in until like 3 minutes left. Then we saw Sass in to finish that off. Then we didn't see him again. So the 8 minutes makes sense, but also we definitely would have seen him more later on. He would have had closer to 11 or 12 minutes, but I'm not going to complain about it at all. So
he was rolling. Yeah.
Yep.
I got to give him credit, man. He's been taking advantage of his minutes since he's been getting the opportunity. Since those 2 18-point games earlier this season, back-to-back 18-point games, it seemed like he kind of something he got.
He could have had that tonight if he had the minutes. He could have had like 16 the way he was shooting,
I know. So. I agree. The Assassin says Chris. Boss, Sean said, I see a dog in the background. Is that Moose or is that Bear?
That's Bear. He's laying his lazy head. Look at him.
Oh, he doing his cameo? Okay.
Yeah. He's like, I'm bored.
Yeah, he waiting on you to finish. Yeah. Chris says, I'm a Braves fan as well. My cousin Terry Pendleton played for them. I'm not familiar with that name, Chris. Okay, so Google is in my future in like 2 hours. I know what I'm gonna look up Terry Pendleton. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Shout out to you. Guys, let's go to let me give some quick thoughts on Sass. I noticed with him as soon as he came in, he was impactful. 3-ball right away. As soon as he came to the game, he hit that 3-ball. That was cool. But the bigger thing for me is just finding a way to fit in within the scheme of how he play offensively. That's been the biggest thing for me. That's been the biggest thing. Just find a way to find your way within this offense. Be a cog instead of trying to be the guy, like we always talk about, right? His off-ball movement is evidence of that because that's who the Pistons are in the half court. When they can't get out and run, they're moving the ball. The ball is moving, player movement, DHO action, pin downs, all kind of just chaos, right? Just organized chaos out there. That's what I love to see from Sass, and he's doing that more and more, just moving without the basketball because he can catch and shoot too. He's not just a one-on-one guy. He can catch and shoot as well. He's got a quick release. So I think that was good to see for sure. But that injury, it was just so hard to see that for him, man, because it's tough when you see guys playing well and then they go down. That's like one of the worst things you can see. So I'm just hoping for him that it's not anything that's going to be nagging because now it's been like all year and even I think part of last year too, the same right hip. And then this year, his body didn't respond well to treatment. He finally got healthy, got a string of games together, was playing well. And then once again, he's come on, man. Like, bro can't catch a break, man. It's the worst for him.
Like I said earlier, like when we have guys like Cade out, like LeVert has been doing fine. But I like Sass at the backup point. It worked tonight, bringing in LeVert and Herter as a shooting guard. It's actually what they've run the last couple of times with Sasser coming in for Jenkins and those guys coming in as shooting guards. It's hard. And so I just, don't want to get, dwindled even more at that position. Because who would you guys pick truly? Because we talked about it before the game. But other than but even if Jenkins went down today, like if the eye injury was lingering for some reason, or it was worse, who would you guys pick if you couldn't have LeVert or Sass? Who would you pick to back up Jenkins?
Keep talking. I'm making a poll right now.
Okay. So I won't say who I would pick so that I can see who's people on the poll because I have my idea. I have my idea because again, you have to remember like the starters are in with Jenkins,
right?
So would you switch some stuff up to help that? Would it be more layered? Who did you put on the poll?
I said, who do you trust more to play backup point guard? Marcus Sasser or Karis LeVert?
Oh, okay. That's a different. Okay. So there's
what
that
one. What were you thinking?
For me right now, it's Sass. But
what was your question? I'm saying.
My question was just because earlier in the game when we were like LeVert and Sass are both on the injury report as questionable. Who's going to be the backup? So if Sass's injury is out, then it just leaves LeVert.
Right.
And what if Jenkins went down? Like this injury was worse today with his face, and LeVert went to starter. Who would you back? And so who would you pick as your? Who would you bring in to
run the backup point guard? Like if there's no Sass and no Dennis and no Cade, it's got to be LeVert.
But I'm saying, but LeVert's at the first. He's at the point guard.
Right. So you're saying
who would you bring up behind him when he has to rest?
Oh, that's tough.
He can't play 48 minutes.
Yeah, nah. That's tough.
I would pick Wu.
Hmm.
I would pick Wu.
Over Herter?
Only because of I'd be fine with Herter. But I think
I'd probably go Herter
Wu.
low key.
I think
Wu
would. I mean, I
feel like Herter's a better ball handler. I think he's got better vision. I think he's just more naturally gifted with the ball in his hands.
He would have to be. I think Wu could get it up the court easy. I think there could be nobody that could just sit there and play a half court offense. I think you have to just start ball movement ASAP.
Right. So it depends.
I think Wu could do that. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was like, what would you do? And that's like Deuce and I were talking about potential free agents or guys we could pick up, like Chaz. Okay.
It's too soon for me. It's too soon for me because he's not a natural point anyway.
And he's in the playoffs right now, so we can't use him.
Yeah, even if he was, you're right. Even if he was, though, the lack of playing time, the lack of reps as a rookie, and he's not a point guard already. If he was a natural point, then I'd be like, all right, maybe.
Well, so then like Michael says Asar, and that was my first guess, but Asar is a starter. Okay. So would you switch?
You're saying
up?
Right?
Would you make
you would have to.
Wu or Ron a starter in his position, and then bring up Asar?
Nah, I ain't doing that. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, because he has to start.
There's some options, but I think we're so deep at certain positions, and I know that the shooting guard. No, not yet. I know that the shooting guard was kind of the position that everyone's like, we need more help there. I think in the offseason, we bring in. I said it in the live yesterday, like a Javon Carter, a veteran. Point guard for cheap that could just come off the bench when needed in situations like this, because Jenkins deserves development, and Ron and if Cade's out, then an injury, or even if Jenkins went down and we still need to back up for Cade, you know, in like a future scenario. I think that's kind of what we shot for in the offseason as well. It's just someone else to.
I agree.
But here's the thing: if we
Javon
also
Carter
brought
is a good one, though, low-key. Go ahead.
And Javon Carter is cheap, which is why we're looking at that. But if we brought in a guy like Trey Murphy, he could do it
easy.
So
easy.
He could play multiple, you know.
So many reasons, man. He's also the only guy, one of the few guys in the league who could walk into All-Star Weekend and then walk away with both the slam dunk trophy and the 3-point shooting trophy as well. That's like, he's that versatile.
It's pointed out, just like our depth is something we've talked about. And so I just think it's funny because we've talked about how we need depth at other positions. But now that we've seen, again, Sass might be out with Cade, and then you just had Jenkins and LeVert, but LeVert's had his ups and downs with injuries. It's like, oh, maybe we're actually a little bit we need at least another ball handler that could play a different position, not necessarily a point guard, but it just
that's a great question, man. Yeah. Charlie said she's picked JD. She said, I'll pick JD.
He's not dribbling up to his armpit anymore.
Yeah. If it's in the half court,
and
he's, and you got him as the hub of, got him at the top of the key, or you got him because he's a good passer from there. But as far as initiating offense, I still need a ball handler to help me initiate offense. But I see what you're saying there, Charlie. I see both ways.
We can move to the bench, but I'm curious what the poll says, because I'm curious what your thought is. Because I picked Sass.
Between those two guys that we talked about, between Sass and LeVert, who do you think? You said Sass?
Yeah.
Who do you think won?
I think even though they hate him, the people went with LeVert.
So it's actually split pretty good. It's 53 to 47. So Sasser has 53. LeVert has 47. So it's like
both arguments for both, especially the way they're playing right now. I'm not saying
it. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. So hopefully that's not something we have to actually put in action, because that would be tough for sure. Off-season loading, Crow. We've been talking about it, bro. You know what it is, man, for sure. Sass mistakes in offense always seem to put us in a really bad position defensively. It's like his bad passes and shots turn out to be great outlet passes for the other team to. You know what? I noticed that last game when he would get caught in the air. Yesterday, he was getting caught in the air and he didn't have anybody there. And I noticed that yesterday. I didn't notice it tonight, though. I didn't notice it tonight, but yesterday. Go ahead.
You could say that about LeVert too. He over dribbles and causes fast breaks. He makes bad decisions. I think they're kind of equal in their positives and their negatives. But what they've been doing lately, they both have, I trust them both more. I think just like people, even Eric last night in the live, like no matter if he's having a good game or not, your heart rate goes up a little bit when LeVert has the ball. I don't feel that way about Sass, just because of, even though he's not had his best. He's definitely someone who, as the more he plays consistently, the better he gets.
I agree.
When he's thrown in at a point guard position lately, when he's thrown in, it's taking him a couple games to settle in. And I think that's what happened. That's exactly what happened this time too.
Because he hasn't played consistently much this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that, boss.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's keep pushing. Last one. Mike says, Hurd did play some lead guard in the pinch for sack, but it was not. Yeah, he's not a point guard. So it's like, it's really like a pick your poison and just kind of live with it with those guys for sure. I remember those days, Mike, and I did not like it. I'm like, man, get De'Aaron Fox back on the floor, please now. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Let's go now, guys. Let's go to Caris LeVert, boss. We're just talking about him. Let's go to Caris LeVert, guys. In this game, Caris LeVert finished with 12 points on 5 for 7 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line, 1 board, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 2 blocks in 18 minutes, man. Okay, Caris. I'll let your boy, boss. What you see?
I mean, 1 turnover, and then to go 5 of 7 is
don't see that too often this year
from Caris. Like 12.2, you're just kind of just like, okay, so we had a little bit of a better night, but like efficiency wise, this was his best night with us. Efficiency wise, 5 of 7 shooting.
I agree.
He can go 5 for 12, which we've seen. You know, like he went 5 for 7. Some plays I have written down. In the first, he beat the buzzer beater shot clock at the end of the first.
Nice.
With a nice shot.
Yep.
In the second, I love this one. He had the step back 3 to shake Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is decoy material.
That was nice.
We had a couple, and he's mostly decoy because of his rim protection, but and his blocks on the perimeter. But again, for his blocks on the perimeter, we had a couple guys shake him off.
Yep.
We had a couple guys just be like, oh, nope. And so
he had Scotty on skates too, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Like didn't show the last year.
In the third, it was a turnover. I forgot who did it, but LeVert sprinted back. He ended up fouling Lawson at the rim, AJ Lawson. He ended up fouling him at the rim, but like he moved. I mean, we've seen it a couple times this season where he just puts his head down and he sprints back. And you have to appreciate that effort, whether you like he's working on, like he's at least trying out there on both ends. He's gonna try to make sure it's not easy for anybody. He's going to show that he's not just gonna watch the play happen. He sprinted back.
Yep.
He had a great drop and stop for the shot clock, another shot clock beater pull up at the end of the third. Just like was dribbling, he over dribbles sometimes and he's sporadic, but that's why it's a lot to watch. But when he just pulls up and shoots, that's why there's no one around him. Mm-hmm. That's how he creates space. He doesn't need to extend his elbow, SGA. Yeah. He just needs to, just stop. And these guys give him the space for it.
Yep.
In the fourth, he had a nice and one in the transition basket. Mm-hmm. And then just a very important pass to JD late because it was a basket in transition when they were on their run, and we could have pulled back and run some clock. It was like just under 2 minutes left. But since it was a transition, he made the pass that he made to JD was spot on. And it led to JD scoring late, helping grow the lead, because that could have easily, but what we've seen from really any of our point guards in the game today, that really could have been overshot, stolen, all this stuff. And then you look at it and you're just like, you could have just ran the clock down and now you just gave a turnover and give them another chance. But his pass was just spot on. So I have to give him, while it was risky, the fact that he completed it and got it done, I have to give him credit for that because yes, JB wanted them to go score at that transition basket. He didn't ask them to slow it down. He said, go get more points in transition for us and grow the lead again. And it very could have easily been a turnover based on, how the game was going, based on who the opponent was. But he had he completed a very important pass at that time.
Yeah, it's been a couple games now for him where he's made some plays and it's like, all right, it worked out. Where it doesn't always look as fluid as a guy like her, who actually struggled a little bit tonight.
You're just like the positives and negatives are just they are perfect, but
yeah, right. But this was definitely one of his better games, I think, this year, for sure. Just not from the volume, but just from the efficiency standpoint. Just contributing to your team. Like when he's decisive offensively, I think he's at his best. When he's thinking and he's dribbling, like when he catches the ball and just goes, he's still got a quick first. He's still athletic, man. He still got some speed to him. He still got some quickness to him. Still got some twitch to him for sure. Like if you can't do that to Scotty if you don't have that kind of quickness. or that kind of twitch. You just can't do it
No.
because Scotty's a really rangy guy. So when he's decisive offensively, boss, we saw him getting to a spot, getting to that mid range over and over and over again. He likes that midi, and he knocks it down. Whether there's a hand there or not, hand down, man down, he knocks it down. It doesn't matter. So I got to give him credit for just using and focusing on what he does best, and not trying to do anything outside of his scope. Just play your game, bro. Stop thinking and just go. Just play. Defensively, for me, that is the biggest thing, though. The nice block from behind he had was nice. He moved his feet very well. He made it tough, man. Yeah, like one thing I appreciate about him, guys, you talked about it already, boss, is how he sprints. He sprints like his life depends on it, man. Like, and he be moving too. It's so dramatic how it looks when he runs, but he actually gets up and down the court pretty quick. When he first got to Detroit last year, guys, defensively, he said that was his biggest jump. And he said it came because JB Bickerstaff in Cleveland, when they were both there, was the first coach that demanded that he play defense. Didn't happen anywhere else. The Nets, wherever else he was, they didn't demand he play defense. It was like, get to your offense, go get buckets. That was kind of his game. But with JB, it's like, nah, bro, you got to play D. And he said JB was the first coach to ever require him to play defense in order to get and stay on the court. So it's no surprise now that the constant with him all year, despite the inconsistent offense, has been his defense. I have not really had any complaints about him all year as far as his defense. He's not a stopper. He's not a clamper, but he's an above average defender because he commits to it and he plays hard. And he's athletic enough to play it. So that's all you can ask for. So yeah, it's a good game from him, man. I don't have no complaints from Caris LeVert tonight. I don't.
I want to answer Michael's too. Did Caris have 0 stocks? I swear I saw a steal. He had 2 blocks. So you said got it. It was a block, not a steal. He had 2 blocks, but I'm sure he had a steal. If the steal was probably just maybe a disruption that was given to somebody else. He had that one where he picked up the ball when Paul Reed was trying to dribble it in on Pirtle. Paul Reed tried, we'll get to him, but he tried some handles on Pirtle a couple times tonight. But this is the one where he lost it a little bit, dove to the floor. Yeah. And Caris was there to help just like swoop it up to Sass. Just effort. And so I think it was given to Sass as this.
Okay.
Okay. Was that it? Oh no, I guess that wasn't a steal. That was just a recovering of a loose ball. So that wasn't a steal necessarily. But Caris like helped in those ways of like getting the ball. Loose balls just seemed to be it. And the defense too, guys. Like we talked about his minutes and how like it doesn't necessarily go to stocks. And we've said like, there's nothing positive to say, but like he didn't do anything bad on defense. Like he played good defense. And look, that defense has helped us get to where we're at. And it just I think went a little bit underappreciated because he wasn't going in other ways. But lately, even though this was his best game, again, efficiency wise from him, but lately he's just we felt a little bit more secure with him going out there. Like I'm not, like nervous, like, oh gosh, here comes LeVert. And this is the time, like him and JB said after the trade deadline, they both went in separate pressers and said like, I'm here or LeVert is here for this part of the season. And has it been extraordinary? No, but no one's complaining. Like we've actually been like, okay, Caris, in a couple games. This game instead, but a few times we've been like, okay, Caris. And if this is, again, we've talked about the timing and peaking and stuff. And if he just feels confident in his game, then that's all we need from him. It's like if this is how long it took for him to feel, like he has found his perfect little niche on the roster and he understands what he needs to do. I'm not complaining. I'm not going to say, well, I wish you could have done that earlier. If this is what helps carry us through the rest of the season and postseason.
Right. We'll live with it. The same way we say we want to see this team peaking at the right time. I want to see Caris LeVert peaking at the right time. So if it means he had to sputter out the gate to be playing peak basketball in April, May, and June, bring it. I'm here for it.
And I want to say, guys, in a game where we had 13 first half turnovers that turned into 23 points and ended with 18 turnovers, LeVert was responsible for one of those.
Good point.
And I just have to say that because it's kind of his and it's valid. It's the reputation he's earned, but like he's been really just stepping up in big ways. And I will take 5 of 7 from him. I'll take 5 of 10 from him. I'll just take some of these makes, and especially a couple of them were in big moments, like 2 shot clock beaters tonight.
Yeah.
He was able to complete.
I agree. Let's get some quick comments. Fat Kism said Spider running him out was a blessing for us. Yeah, JB and Karras, if you would put it that way.
Yeah, really.
Where's Fro Levert at? Man, where is Fro Levert at? We need him back, y'all. Where's Fro Levert? Where Big Ben at? Where Little Ben at? Man, I'm keeping that in the
That's so
I'm keeping
funny.
that in the vault just in case we need it for something like this.
I
Two
love
more
it.
comments. I will say his defense has been he's been consistent, bro. Defensively, he's been good, man. He's been good.
He's
Kevin
like,
says Karras heard the footsteps of the redheaded stepchild. Right. Remember Problem Child? Look, a balloon. Look, a fist. Hey, look, he lives to fight another day. Y'all funny in these comments. Let's keep pushing, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Boss, let's go to Kevin. Don't hurt him. Hurt her in this game, guys. Kevin Huerter finished with 8 points for 2 for 6 overall, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Two, it's nothing but twos for him tonight. 2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 2 boards and 2 assists, and then 4 turnovers, which I wish that was a 2. And 1 steal in 22 minutes for what is that, Velvet?
Yeah.
What'd you see?
The 4 turnovers, guys, is again why I would probably pick a Woo right now over a Huerter. But
just one game though. He's never doing that. He's never doing that.
Yeah, I understand, but the 2 threes a game is what he's pretty solid on. And again, he hit his first 3 in the first. And it's like every time he hits it, it's like, this is the game.
Like, stop shooting him, bro. Hit 2 and be done.
This is the game. He's 5 of 8. And last game, guys, he was incredible on threes. Like, he was fine. But like he always just nails the first one. And then you're just like, oh, he's in it. And then he just it's usually it's never like 2 of 9, you know. It is closer to like 2 of 4, 2 of 5.
Mm-hmm.
But his second 3 was beautiful because when I first saw it, I was like, when do you ever see, and Kelser went into this too, but it was my first, I was like, when do you ever see a bank shot 3 from the corner?
What is that, fiberglass?
Yeah, it was deflected off the corner of the backboard, and even Kelser said like it ended up going in. If it was on target, it still would have been a swish. Like, it was fine. Like, it looked good.
That's never on purpose, but that's funny.
But it's just like, how are you gonna say, oh yeah, I hit a corner? That's like when you kind of know someone. It's like one of those like, this is an exaggerated fishing story when someone's like, yeah, I've hit a corner 3 off the backboard. You're like, what? You know, like, it's just like, how is that possible? So you don't want to brag about hitting the corner 3 glass because it's obvious you didn't do it on purpose. Yeah, but I'll give it to him because it looked nice. I love a bank shot because even when you have a bank shot 3, people ask if it counts no matter where it is on the floor. So
bank is open. Did you see him like on the bench, like talking about it? Like, ooh, I
saw him shoot it, and then I saw Woo in the background, like, huh? Like, his eyebrows were like, what just happened? I saw it hit it and then it went in, you know. But anyways, he had some really good momentum going there. His assists too, he had some great looks. Had a steal tonight. All of it. So I think the only shocking thing for me tonight is he's been able to produce in the lane as well. And so his only point, he was 2 for 6 overall, 2 of 4 from 3, but it's like his only makes were threes, but he only got up 2 other field goals. And that's just a little bit to me. I think that's, I can't necessarily remember his turnovers. So I wonder if that's kind of when they happened, was they just were good at stopping him. But he was like, the defense is good. But it felt like they watched his film on his last game, where he made 4 or 5 threes, however many it was. I think it was 4. I feel like they watched it and they're like, oh, this is their 3-point weapon out there too. We have to guard him close. Because they were playing good defense on him. But he was able to get around a few times. But yeah, it was a fun game from Kevin Huerter. And I just can't wait for him to, you know, anytime he hits more than 2 threes, I'm just gonna be like, he popped off. He went crazy.
That was last game. He popped off last game. He had 3.
Yeah, exactly. So
Fat Kism says Scottie Pippen was good at it. Yeah, but he was more so like between, like on the angle, like he not the elbow, but between the free throw and the corner. Like,
not falling
that was where
away
him and Tim Duncan, they loved it from there. But from the baseline, like that's hard to do. Like, you ain't doing that on purpose. I don't care how hard you work on that. You only gonna hit 1 of every 7 or 8, maybe. But yeah, Scotty and Timmy D were good using that fiberglass for sure. That 3 was Red Skull tough, bro. Red Skull is goated, bro. That may be one of the best nicknames I've heard in a while. Red Skull is fire. That's fire. Kelser asks, does that count? And Blah was like, it should count for more. Facts.
Yes.
Right. It should count for 4.
I love when Blah says that. He says that about half court heaves too. He's like, that should have been 4. Like,
yeah. Shout out to the legend, man. But that's all I got for Kev. Like, it wasn't a great game. And I only say that because of the turnovers. Like, I don't want to see this has to be the most he's had in the game. 4 for him.
Yeah.
He's usually pretty good with the basketball as far as taking care of it. And he was just uncharacteristically just a little bit lazy. It was a lot of, once again, good idea, but bad pass. Like, if you do it a split second sooner, it'll get through. But you wait a second longer, you don't process fast enough, that's going to get picked off. So he had the right idea. It's always a team play. It's not just making bad passes. It's just sometimes it's not even enough target, really. It's just miscommunication or I should have got there a little sooner. But don't happen too often with him. I'm not complaining.
He played the most minutes off the bench at 22, and they kind of did a little bit of segment on Wu at the beginning of the game because I think people have noticed that his minutes have gone down. I still think it is because they're looking for the offense from a shooting guard right now. And look, ever since Kevin and Karis and Sass have played together, our offensive percentage has gone up.
Yep.
It correlates a little bit. But they said about Wu is that like you really can't. He's just so reliable that when he does come in, he can't just get it done no matter what. But this is not more so about Wu. It's just more about how Kevin has found a consistent 18 to 20 minutes since Cade has been gone. Because if he wasn't doing well, we would see Wu more.
Right.
I
was saying though about Kevin Huerter with his minutes about 20 plus for the rest of the year.
Yeah, you did. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just like if he wasn't doing well out there, if he was because it wasn't the best game for him, but 4 turnovers is rough. But like when he came in, I was like, okay, I feel fine because again, he's great at spacing, great at off ball. He's just great at other areas. He's good on defense. He's solid on defense. Like he had a steal tonight. I'm sure he only had 1 foul in 22 minutes. I'm sure he affected shot return, or he at least didn't, let guys his guy get the ball or take a shot. I made his guy give up the ball. Things like that. If he wasn't doing well, even though we're trying to narrow down our shooting guard position, he'd be closer to 16 at the most minutes, and you see Wu more.
I think that's
so. It's also just showing that he is stepping up in a lot of ways, and JB feels comfortable having him out there because even if he's not draining his threes, he's doing other things to help other guys score, to help on defense. He's just being productive out there. Yeah,
it's just nice to have a lot of multi-dimensional guys. Like you got a bunch of guys on your bench who can play 1 through 3, Huerter and Ron and Wu. Like we got a lot of guys who can just do a lot of different things. So if a guy doesn't have it going, you bring in somebody else who can do a lot of those same things. Mm-hmm. Guys in foul trouble, another guy coming in doing those same things. It's just nice to have a bunch of versatile guys as opposed to a bunch of really good bit players who, if they're not doing one thing well, what are you going to do? Right. So it's just nice to have that versatility on both sides of the basketball. People swore Huerter wasn't going to get no playoff rotation. I thought, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I'm happy to see him doing well, man. I'm happy to see him doing well. He's looking like sack Red Skull, Chris.
And we still don't know. Like, I don't know what the minutes will look like because this is the time to test it. We just got Huerter going from the trade deadline, and he's definitely had more opportunities since some of these injuries have happened. So I don't know for sure, but like I'm not mad at it, and it wouldn't surprise me if he, did that. So
it's a good problem to have. Great problem to have, JB, for sure. So. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Boss, let's go to Lil Ron, Dog Pound Jr. Ron Holland, guys. Tonight in this game, Ron Holland finished with only 1 point. Didn't like a shot down, 0 for 4. 1 of 2 from the line, 2 boards, 1 steal, and that's it in 13 minutes, boss. What'd you see tonight from Ron?
Yeah, he's a little bit out of rhythm offensively, but he's still playing like hustle man Ron out there.
Yep.
He did have a very good game against OKC. Again, we just commented on how good he did defensively against SGA. So it's not like he's had a streak of bad games or anything. Just offensively, he hasn't been able to find it. But then again, 2 games ago, he did sink down to a 4 threes. Like he's just a little bit, he needs to combine all of them together, all of his things together, the shooting, the defense, all of that. Here's my thing. The challenge, I think, was warranted. I understand why JB challenged the one on because I think Scotty Barnes saw him. I think it was plenty of time. I think was it necessary? Should Ron have just played ISO defense, and
more times than not, you're not going to get that call.
I know, but
I think it could have been though.
If a guy can take a couple steps, I think it's enough. The way that the replay to me, I think it was just Tony Brothers, not just being Tony Brothers, but like I think the replay to me showed that Scottie Barnes was aware of Ron Holland right there. But was Scottie Barnes aware of Ron Holland that he was going to stop right there? That I don't know. But at the same time, he was
playing it though. It wasn't like he was moving, sliding.
I understand why they challenged, and I'm not mad at it. So I just want to say that I was on team. Like I think Scottie actually had plenty of times to adjust, or understand that personally. Because for me, that was just a smart defensive play of Scottie saw him, but Ron just stopped moving. So anyways,
I agree with you on that play. I agree with you for sure. Yeah.
That's kind of my only notes for him tonight, because again, like he didn't really do much else. He did make life difficult for some people. He had some disruptions, but again, he didn't really produce in other areas. He got some good boards. He was split 1 of 1. And I just do remember that he went up for a defensive board late in the game. He only had 2 fouls. He had no turnovers, which is something nobody else that played tonight other than Wu can say. So I'll give him that. And he played in 13 minutes. So good. It's just he had a steal, and his defense was impactful to the game, even though it's not. You can't just box score defense completely. Nope, but he did register a stock, and then 0 of 4 is just a little tough. But again, he's a guy that we have out there for his defense, and whatever he can produce on offense, that's good. But I just felt like he just wasn't able to find a rhythm tonight. But
I feel like he's just sophomore slumping right now.
A little bit.
I feel like he's just trying to find his way. He's trying to find his way. Like we talked about how some of these guys who've been in the league for a while, like Javonte Green and Kevin Huerter, they know who they are. They've had time to play on different squads, figure out over time what they do best, what they can do at this level the best, what they're not great at this level. A lot of that stuff just comes with time. We see that Ron has a lot of ability, a lot of just natural raw ability that still needs to be crafted. But even more so than that, for me, just the mental part. He's finding out what he's good at, what he can do consistently, what he's not, even if it means pulling back a little bit sometimes, some things, but that just takes time. So once again, though, the constant for him is the effort. You never see him dropping his head or not giving, not committing to defense just because his shot's not falling. Like he shot 0 for 4 and his defense was turned all the way up tonight. So I'm okay with it. Like we have the luxury right now because of our depth to allow him to find his way. Like you always say, we're not putting guys in positions who are high draft picks in positions where they're not ready to produce that, where they're out of their depth, there's too much on their plate, like we have in previous regimes in previous years and decades and whatever you want to call it. Like we're in a situation now where he can just play. He can work it out. He can figure it out. He's not relied upon to do a ton. So I'm cool with it. Just go ahead and just keep figuring it out, bro. Just keep working. Keep your head down. Yeah, keep working.
In the middle of the season, when he was having his best games, we were consistently seeing him closer to 20 minutes, like because of the adjustments. And it's because we're looking for the offense right now. Even though Karras and ever since they kind of started this kind of match between Karras and Sass and Huerter, they've all done well, equal. So they're still figuring things out. But again, like Ron's had an incredible defensive game last game, and he's exactly who you want off the bench to replace Asar. This is how they're both playing defense going. So the minutes isn't necessarily a reflection either. I think it's still just balancing these injuries with also figuring out final rotations. It's just a play period a little bit right now, and Ron's not being benched for any reason. It's just more like other guys that didn't have an earlier opportunity in the season to come off the bench as much are now getting that opportunity to show what holes they can fill. So I think especially probably the last four games, I want to say, I can see Ron getting substantial minutes and being able to, just kind of pop off a little bit and get his confidence up. Not that his confidence is down, but like just feel really good about his game.
Just reinforce it for him. Yeah. Modestly trash. A few guys are saying he might get his minutes trimmed. I think it's possible because like once you get to the playoffs, you got to have consistency.
Yeah,
you're right. That's what you want, and a lot of times veteran guys can bring that for you. The Tobias Harrises of the world, even though they're not great defensively, what you're going to get more times than not when he's in the basketball court. a Kevin Huerter. You know what you're going to get more times than not. Karis LeVert, as of late, even though it hasn't always looked great, he's been consistent with what he does best. So with a guy like Ron who's trying to find his way, it may just take him a little bit longer. And maybe they just can't. Who knows? Maybe they feel in at times. I think he'll play more this year than he did last year. I think last year he played like maybe 2 or 3 games, and you didn't see him the back half of that series, right? And maybe that was why. It's because they needed consistent play at that position. They needed smart play. Sometimes he would get in foul trouble, a little too over aggressive, like Heisenberg saying, forcing the issue, trying to make a right play, but just doing a little bit too much to where sometimes it's hurting you, trying to do too much, right? So I can see it. I wouldn't even be mad at it, but I still think he deserves a chance to prove that he has grown from last year. As long as these last few games, like you mentioned, going to be important for him as far as building that trust and building that confidence in both himself and in coach.
He's only 20, right?
Yeah, I think he's 20. You're right. He was 19 when he first got here. He's 20, I think now.
Tell me another 20-year-old that's on a playoff rotation right now for the team in the playoffs.
Good point.
It's not about you're just not good enough for this right now. It's just more just like there's just certain things like Wu is a vet in this league. Like Ron will be called upon, I truly think, because his defense has been great. His defense has been great, but it's also just like we also have guys that can balance both. Like I think Wu is a little bit better right now at getting the offensive with the defense right now in his last 2 games. Did Wu have a fantastic offensive night tonight? No, but like he's been like the last game and the last couple games, he's nailing threes, things like that. Like it's a good problem to have, but it's nothing personal. It's just also like this is a 20-year-old who will have plenty of time growing on this team, in this league, hopefully on this team into what he's becoming. And I'm never upset to see Ron check in. No, and he usually is one of the first ones in. I think though, just like Heisenberg mentioned earlier too, I think though that you can kind of tell early on what kind of game he's going to have. And his defense is always steady, but you can kind of tell if he's going to get looks on offense, if he's going to get the right shots on offense. Yeah. So I think that's what it is, because he usually is in the first quarter, the first one off the bench for a star. Not first one off the bench, but like he's a star's he just checks in.
His primary backup.
Yeah. So and then it just goes to show, and then as the game goes on, it's like, well, what do we need more of right now, defense or offense?
Right, based on game flow. That's a great point. Yeah, so he'll get opportunities, I think, because like even last game against Shea, like Asar was great. He did about as great as you could do, as good as you could do in today's NBA with fouling and out. Even though Ron wasn't quite as good, he was still really good defensively.
Someone that we could rely on when
really
Asar
good
fouled out.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's gonna have his moments for sure.
Yeah,
we'll see. All right, guys, we got 2 more guys to get to, boss, so we can call tonight before it gets too late. But guys, let's go to Javonte Savage. Can you woo Green in this game, guys? Javonte Green did not score. Didn't do much in this game. Didn't play a lot though. No points, no shots, no 3 balls, no free throws, no rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers, 1 steal in 6 minutes. So a ton of cardio and a little bit here and there. What did you see tonight from Wu?
It was kind of like Sass's night the other night when you were just like, oh, he had no points. But it's like, but he had no shots. So I can't judge him on that.
Right.
He didn't take anything. And again, he's not somebody that we necessarily look to get our offense going. We want him in there for defense, and he did his job on defense. Only played 6 minutes. Got a steal in that time. Got an assist in that time. Fun to see him out there. And he's just always off the bench to root people on. So they said, basically my only note was just something that Natalie Kerwin mentioned in the game, is that he's the only Piston to play in every game this year.
Yeah, that's right.
So even when he plays 6 minutes, he's played in every game.
That's how important he is, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's guys like him, they find their way in the basketball court because they're just good team guys. They don't hurt you. I've said it probably 100 times now. He doesn't hurt you in a basketball court. More times than not, if he's out there, he's going to bring something positive.
Yep.
And that's what you can expect. My only note for him is, in the words of Chris, Mr. I'm a chill tonight. Let Karis cook, coach.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Like that was he didn't play a lot. And maybe it's because they're trying to see who can do more. They're trying to experiment with all these guys. You talked about the shooting guards before, so who knows? I
feel like that's why they had that little segment on him early. Like to mention this stat and then talk about what JB sees in him, and said that he is just so reliable to go and do what we need him to do. I feel like he's aware of it. And the thing is like Wu had a lot of minutes again early in the season when we were still figuring stuff out and everything. And he's also a guy that like I wouldn't be surprised if he is in the 11-man 10, 11 man rotation. Like,
I think he's going to be in the
I
rotation.
don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. And like you said, there's two. It was like, that's why I think Chris mentioned it here too. He said, I know it's unconventional to play 12 players in the playoffs, but I believe we need to stick to what has gotten us to where we're at and play our bench. And I do agree with this. And that's like, I don't see it being cut low, but I do see certain guys being used in certain scenarios. But I think that Wu is going to be someone who still comes and finishes the game for us and is called in on defense. It's going to be like, do we need offense or defense is kind of how it's going to go. Yep. And that's just going to play. And sometimes we'll get one half, we're going to need offense and one half, we're going to need defense. And that's when you'll see 12 players. Otherwise, I think you'll see consistent, like a little bit less, but I do agree with that. I don't think it's unconventional, but like, again, it's an unwritten rule, as someone said before, like it's not written down. But they are just trying to narrow, I think, just what works best and who to call on in the right moments. But I do think that they had that little segment on him because I would say he's a fan favorite. Do you guys agree? Because I feel like he's a fan favorite and people are kind of noticing this. But I also think like Deuce and I talked about too, I think that there's still kind of that race for who comes off the bench at shooting guard between Sass, Herter, and LeVert. I think it's been narrowed down to Herter and LeVert, in my opinion, at this time. And Sass is just a great guy to have as a backup for if we need off the bench scoring or if we need a point guard for some reason. But I think that will be balanced nicely. I think it will be. I think coach has a good, so far his lineups the past 5 or 6 games have really impressed me because it's been lineups that, we have a couple of guys out and we've had guys out. And so you're kind of forced to use these guys, but the lineups have been challenging to where these guys are growing, but also they've been consistent to where it's not affecting who we are as a team and our style of play. Yeah.
I agree. Heisenberg says he deserves a little rest though after that game he gave us last night. That's a great point too. Yeah, he played tough last night for sure. Chris says, Mr. Don't criticize me. I did my work last. Y'all saying the same thing. Yeah, Heisenberg and Chris are on the same page. He's going to be one of our crucial bench guys in the playoffs. I'm going to elaborate that briefly in just a second because I 100% wholeheartedly agree with that. And Obina says our defense creates offense. Yes, and that's what he does well. Yep. And in transition, he's great at that. Half court, spot up 3-ball shooter. That's what you want. Transition, you want him running for sure. Mm-hmm. And for me, going back to what Heisenberg said, boss. He's played in every game this year for a reason. And that's just because coach trusts him to be consistent. Mm-hmm. That's why he's played every game. And so because he's played every regular season game, because coach trusts him, because he's consistent, is why I definitely think he's going to play in the playoffs in winning time. Agreed. When it matters, because he's consistent. And we just talked about why that's so important from your bets. So there's no question in my mind, Javonte Green, if he doesn't miss any more games or any games this regular season, that streak is going to continue in the playoffs. Because when it matters most, you want guys who you can trust, who are consistent, who can help you in the court. And that's what he does. So no doubt in my mind, he's going to be in that rotation come playoff time. All right, guys, let's keep it pushing and go to our last guy tonight. Boss, let's go to B-Ball Paul Reed, guys, tonight. Paul Reed finished with 10 points on 5 for 6 shooting overall. 2 boards, 5 assists. Here we go. 5-to-1 ratio. 5 assists, 1 turnover, and 2 stocks. A steal in the block for Paul Reed in 13 minutes. Once again, a lot of work in limited minutes for our guy, Paul Reed, man. Best third big in the league by far, no question about it. Or fourth big, my bad. However you want to say it. He's incredible man off the bench. That's just a weapon to have. Boss, take off on Paul Reed. What'd you see?
Our centers tonight made 17 of their 19 shots.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So it's come on. And did you look at this, that you mentioned the assists, and he had the most assists by far. Because at first I was like, oh, the rebound. I had 2 rebounds. It's a big, like, you got to get more. But like, he was just in a different mode. There's a much more to B-Ball Paul's bag than we see. And it was kind of curious because he had 3 fouls, but like in the third, he was like JD started the half, and then B-Ball Paul came in for like a few minutes, and they finished with JD. And again, it just made me think that they were just trying to like get ahead and close it out and be like, then these guys can rest. And it didn't go that way. But because I was just like, why? I don't think B-Ball is making any mistakes out there. I think he's had good defense rotations. He had he had 1 turnover, which is I give him his one. He gets one every game. He usually does it early and then he doesn't do it again. But
You've been consistent with that.
Yeah, he had a couple like, you know, dribbles on Pirtle, a couple broken plays, but he looks aggressive. Like he looked really aggressive tonight. The fact that, you know, he had that one move where he went up with it, like he was going to shoot it and then he went around Pirtle and that kind of got broken up. But anyways, in the second quarter, he had a great cut off a handoff to Duncan for the wide open dunk. Like that was when he threw it to Duncan and then he cut and Duncan threw it back to him and just slammed it down. Yep. In the fourth, he just, you know, helped us get that big lead. Eventually Toronto went on their run, but like without that big lead, we wouldn't have been able to close out the way we did. Yep. So he had that tough, it's like a lefty hook, but it was like, it was behind him. Like it wasn't like,
that was weird. I saw that too.
I was hoping they would replay it because I was like, why is he looking this way and throwing it up? Am I just missing it? And almost
no.
Okay, good. So I wasn't making up in my head that he was just this magician. So he was able to get that tough lefty behind him hook is what I called it. Because I was like, I don't think he was. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what to call it. Yeah.
And then the next play, he had a great pass. He got the board and he had a great pass ahead to LeVert, who got the and one in transition. Like that was awesome. And then in the fourth again, like that's when he was like kind of fighting for loose balls. Just especially when he makes a mistake, he doesn't want the play to end that way. So like when he was dribbling, he went past Pirtle, and Pirtle like knocked it from behind, knocked it loose. You can't guard who's behind you. You know, you can't keep it safe. They had a guy in front of him. Pirtle just knocked it loose, but B-ball dove on the floor for it again. Got it to LeVert, who got his sass. Like, and then ended up like he just looks so aggressive out there, and he hasn't had a game like his Philly game where he got, you know, 27 points, 28 points,
20
and like
10, I think.
Yeah, like crazy, like stuff like that. But like he had 2 games recently that are just like, this just seems off. Like he had a bad game, then a game.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Got into the foul trouble, and we were like, it wasn't a bad game with a game in foul trouble. It's more just like it wasn't a B-ball Paul confidence game. And now that's shooting back up. And I was actually kind of mad when he faked that 3 because I was like, yes, a B-ball Paul 3. I love it because we did get one over Chet the other day after checking one on him. But his confidence, I'm just glad. For me, I'm just happy to see that his confidence wasn't affected for more than those 2 games because we know. I would be like B-ball Paul. There's no reason to be mad at yourself. There's no reason to get into this hole because you're B-ball Paul. You're doing things out there that a lot of centers can't do, especially guys that are called up inconsistently and when they need it. So I'm really happy to see that. I think the biggest takeaway for me is that he played confident last night and he played very confident again tonight. And it's just showing me that he still trusts his game completely. And it showed with 5 assists is the biggest thing, but also
that's huge.
The 5 of 6 shooting, is because he had a couple middies.
Yep.
So,
yeah. For me, I said this a few weeks ago, boss. He's playing mean to me this year.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see that last year. I'm not saying he was passive, but he's playing like he wants to put you on a poster every time. Like he wants to punish the rim every time. It's just a different mentality with him. Maybe part of it is just because he's bigger and stronger now because he was kind of slender last year. He wasn't small, but he's noticeably bigger and stronger this year, and he's still just as athletic. So I don't know what it is, what's different with him mentally, but he just is playing meaner. Maybe it's the other guys rubbing off on him. Who knows? Maybe it's just the chip on the shoulder he's always had. Now he's got the body to match it. Who knows? But he is definitely playing with a chip. He's playing mean. He's attacking relentlessly now, like continuously. Yeah. So it's like he's not letting up. We saw him wear Chet out. Third string big, whatever you want to call it, third big versus all-star big. And he's playing him to a standstill. Like he's playing different now. So I don't know what it is, but I love it. I love this version of Paul Reed. As talented as he is, I love this.
I think that you're right on with the stronger because I think you can feel your strength and you can say, I'm stronger. But then when you see what it can do for your game, you're just a little bit like, exactly.
Okay. That could be.
He probably looked at Pirtle. He was like, you're skinny. You're skinny boy Pirtle. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Come on.
Even with Chet, even though Chet's an all-star, I'd be like skinny mini over here.
Yeah.
But I think I have to credit a lot of it to the way that this team speaks about each other and the way that they talk about very highly of each other. So I think it's just, no matter who you are, where you are, if you're an NBA player or if not, like when somebody validates you, acknowledges you, speaks confidence into you, it matters for your game. I want to say that I think it's that, and just in terms of also, being assigned the love he's gotten from fans that plays a huge role. Just things like
fans
that.
Love him here.
I love B-ball all the time. His jersey is getting more popular. You're seeing people in jerseys, like little things like that. But I do agree. I think that he's also I think he knows what he can do. And he understands also that this team he's in a position where this team has 2 elite centers in front of him. And it's not a competition, but it's more just like, I'm not going to be the weak link in this team.
Of this group. Yep.
Yes.
And it helps to get to play against third street bigs most of the time, that he has an advantage more times than not because of how talented he is already. Yeah. So it could be it could be a combination of things, boss. Yeah. Whatever it is, keep at it.
Exactly.
Keep at it, bro. Yeah, for sure. Spirit Detroit. You know what it is.
Detroit,
Little Miss for sure. Y'all know, man. All right, guys. That's all we got, man. Quickly, guys, we're going to do a quick look ahead and then we'll tackle our last topic. So, guys, the Pistons, they don't play again until Thursday night when they take on the Minnesota Timberwolves for the second time in a week. The Pistons won their last matchup this past Saturday, and they will look to sweep the season series with the Wolves. I think Ant-Man will be available for this one, and also think Ayo Dosunmu will be available for this one, who Boss just told me had a trip dub last game. So that should be interesting, Boss. Quickly, any thoughts on this matchup? And chat, any thoughts on this matchup against the Wolves coming up Thursday?
It's going to be different. I think that we have, just like last game, I think we have the offensive advantage of ball movement. I'm not saying that the Wolves don't do that, but when you have guys like Randall and Edwards on the floor at the same time, both those guys like to create their own offense. So I think our defensively, it's going to be pretty ISO. Ant's going to want to make a point. Ant's probably excited. He had a blast with JB as his coach in the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's true.
A blast. So
I agree.
I think he's looking forward to this game just because it's a really fun team to play against. The Timberwolves, I still have no confidence in really anything, but he will be back. And Ayo off of injury, guys, got a triple-double to help them win the other day. I forgot who they played, but
he's nice.
He got it done. And this is the Wolves are a team that I actually thought might try to call about Jenkins because they desperately needed a point. I actually thought that that's where Trae Young might go. But because they really just needed
low key,
they just needed a point guard. But here's like Trae and Randall and Edwards would just be a nightmare. Even though Trae does have high assists, it would just be I need to get my 30 points a game. So what are you doing kind of thing. But anyways, I think it's gonna look different. It's gonna be fun. I really like Dosunmu. He's someone that's also a free agent coming up. He's a little bit more expensive than others, but he's also he's a point guard. He wants to be a point guard. I think he could be a very good point guard. I think that him and Jenkins match up well together, so it's gonna be fun. It's just 2 young point guards who have worked their way into where they are right now in the league. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be different. We can't expect the game that we had last time. Also, the last game, we had really good defense, but usually the Wolves can shoot a lot better. So, and they're fighting, their position is a little bit more drastic. Now that the Rockets won tonight, I think that they're a half game in front of them in the fourth, or maybe one full game, maybe 1.0, not 0.5. But this matters to them more right now. It matters to them more in terms of seeding. So and I'm telling you, they want the Nuggets, so they're gonna try to win.
It's a good matchup. Matchup. So
they're gonna try to win.
You know better than anybody.
It's gonna be different, but it's gonna be fun, and I look forward to seeing. I don't mind it. I want to see Ant and Ayo. I want to see how this team works, especially with Ayo involved and everything. But our team is definitely aware as well that this is gonna look a little different from the last game.
And guys, that is going to be a national broadcast. So as you guys know, we are going to be having another live watch party before the game. We're still going to be doing our post game like we're doing right now. But I don't know what time the game starts off. Let me check the schedule again. When does the game start? The game starts at 7, so we'll probably be going live 10 minutes before, around 6:50 EST. So Boss and I will be posted, and y'all make sure y'all have your alerts turned on for that so we can watch that game. We had a blast last time. Last night? Yeah, last night with Evenny.
Oh my
When
gosh.
he joined us for sure. That was a lot of fun. We
So
posted
funny.
a reel today on YouTube about an IG about it.
I wasn't warned about
I
this.
wasn't either, low key. Like, I mean, he just posted it, and I was like, this is gonna be hilarious. So
we all have our separate reactions, and they're all so different.
Boss was screaming. Evenny was silent. I was singing. Like, we was all doing a bunch of stuff. It was a lot of fun. So make sure y'all pull up tomorrow night or Thursday night if you guys want to come hang with us and watch the game for sure.
April, we will be also, because I think we should announce it during the live, but we will also be announcing a fundraiser for that time, which will go for the rest of the regular season games and the playoffs as well. It will include the live shows and the post games. But you have to tune in to find out what it is. We'll announce it at post game as well. If you guys can't join us for the live, no big deal. But
looking forward to it.
Another, we've just been so impressed by what you guys have done this season. Even the Pistons organization they heard about it and they are just in awe. They send their thanks as well. So.
So guys, last but not least, man, let's get to this last topic, guys, and we will call it a night. And we will keep this brief because we're not trying to make this long and drawn out, boss. So guys, as we mentioned at the top of the show, Pistons coach JB Bickerstaff spoke today on Jaden Ivey and the recent events that have been surrounding him. And let's just take a listen and see what he had to say when he was asked about it. Let's check it out.
Having built a relationship with J.I. and feeling like you know his character and his heart, for him to go through what he's gone through, I know has been extremely difficult for him. The way he was playing, the injuries, trying to make the comeback and trying to overcome that. So I don't think we can overlook the human aspect of all these things and how that impacts, people and their decisions. Having said that, I also believe the NBA is one of the most inclusive environments in pro sports, and it's a genuine thing that celebrates different, ethnicities, heritages, sexual preferences, whatever it may be. Like, the NBA brings people together. And I think that's the great thing about our sport, and it's something that we understand the responsibility as you live that day to day, but giving people an opportunity to just be who they are, right? And if we don't believe the same thing, as long as your beliefs don't infringe upon me, like, you have a right to have your beliefs and be the person that you are. And this environment should be an environment that supports that and gives people the opportunity to be the best version of themselves, no matter who that is or what they believe or what choices they may make, again, that don't impact or infringe on other people's.
He did a great job of getting his point clearly across while still remaining positive and uplifting. That's what I appreciate about what he had to say. This is what I have to say, guys. And I'm going to keep this really brief. All I have to say about this, guys, is today, yesterday, I've seen a lot of media today or just talking about this subject. Unfortunately, a lot of people are poking fun, making jokes about this, laughing about this. This is a serious issue, bro. Like, straight up and down, this is a serious thing. I personally respect anybody who believes what they believe, right? That's their right. And I think it's unfortunate that people are making fun of it. That's not cool to me. Regardless of where you guys all fall on this issue, right? Regardless of which side of the fence you fall on, that's your preference, and I respect that. And we're not here to discuss that. I don't see how any of this is funny, though. Like, whether you agree or disagree, I don't understand that part. A lot of people have been affected by this situation in many different ways. And I just think it's important to realize and be sensitive to that. And you guys won't find me, you won't find Boss poking fun, making jokes about something of this magnitude, because it's simply not a laughing matter as far as we're concerned. So, like we said last show, we hope for the best for all involved. And we hope that everybody can find their footing, find peace throughout this process, and just be able to move forward. And that's really all I have to say about it.
Yeah. And I said, my thoughts last show at the end too, if you want to read them. But just to reiterate what Deuce just said there, this is what's happened has affected people in different ways, whether it's, how you perceived it, what was said, what's still being said, just other ways. It's affected people in different ways that we can all relate to. But to go to what JB said, which a lot of you agree with, and what he said was extremely empathetic. It touched the right bases, and it came off as very genuine, and I believe it was genuine.
100%.
But to me, the way that I see it, I relate to JB in the fact that we have to give people the ability to be who they are, and you can believe what you want, but those are your beliefs, and you can't just infringe on others. You can't generalize. You can't. You need to be inclusive. I'm not saying, actually, I shouldn't say you need to be, but I'm saying I support JB's idea and what he's
100%.
saying, and that like the community that the NBA has created, and that and the point of community is to be inclusive. And it's easy to fall into what's the heartbreaking. You mentioned the jokes or making it funny and taking it lightheartedly. For me, it's more of the out of context, things being pulled out of context for people to sell certain agendas. And I don't like that either. Regardless, I also want to just emphasize the fact that he said that Ivy, people are human. Ivy's a human being that's been through things. We are all human beings that have been through things. And that's the point of people are who they are, and they're different from you. Yeah. And you don't know everything. We don't know everything. We don't know everything about each other. We don't know anything. So the human aspect is what I want most. And I've said this last show too, is that, and Deuce said it himself here tonight, no matter what you believe, I support in your right to believe what you want to believe, but
exactly,
you can't tell others
what they should,
that they are right or wrong based on what you believe. You believe those beliefs for yourself. And I actually admire when people live through their own truths and their own paths. It's very cool to see when people have their own expectations for themselves and they follow through and live through that. Yep. But that you can't put those on other people. So we just have to remember that everyone involved right now, whether it's him or who he's speaking about or the people around him, they're all humans.
Yep.
But like JB said, the most important thing for me is like people should be given the ability to be who they are. So
I agree on both sides. So that's all we got, guys. Yep. That's all we got, man. We're gonna leave it there, guys. Boss, that's a wrap, man. Listen, guys, we appreciate you guys showing up, showing out. It's 1:20 in the morning. Y'all be up what y'all be doing up so late every night, man? I mean, I know y'all be with us, but this can't be the only thing y'all do. What y'all be doing up this late, man? Y'all let us know for sure. But yeah, you getting a lot of people rolling with you for sure.
And just like you too. And also we want to going forward is that we're not going to, this isn't going to be an issue that we address a lot going forward, no matter what happens, because what this team is doing has been unbelievable. It's been fun. It's been incredible. And sports are supposed to be an escape from some of the heavier things in life. That's one of the most beautiful things that we can all hear and go the Pistons, even if it's different perspectives on the Pistons, different viewpoints, different opinions about the team and things like that. This would be a safe space for all of that.
Exactly.
And I don't know what's going to go happening forward. This has all happened. This has all been very speed run. What's happened this past week. So we just I think we said what we wanted to say, and our opinions aren't going to change because we've just said what we had to say. There's like a lot of people from here on out. It's going to be Pistons focused, and in the chat, we appreciate if you guys keep it that way as well. There's obviously plenty of discourse around this topic going on, and so if you feel like talking it out or seeing other things, there's other places to do it. This is a Pistons podcast. Jaden Ivey is not on the Pistons roster right now, and this team deserves our full attention and energy with what they're doing.
Yep. Well said, boss. So we'll leave it there, guys. Charlie, you trading pairs? What you trading? SPX? What you trading? NASDAQ? What? GBP AUD? Let me know. So a whole separate note. But guys, listen, man, it's been a great show, guys. We appreciate all you guys' support, all you guys' comments, all you guys, the dialogue we have with you guys is always A1. One of the best things about being here with you guys is you guys know your hoops. Yes. You guys are respectful. It's a great community here, man. We love you guys here for sure. So we appreciate you guys as always, man. Showing up, showing out as you guys always do. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night. And we'll see you guys Thursday night for the Wolves game. So get some rest, man. We'll see y'all Thursday night. Y'all know the drill. Detroit versus everybody. Peace. Love.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot. and I'm gonna be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think of just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that.